We'll go ahead and line here.
Oh, hell, it was Ryan's birthday today.
Yep. Happy late birthday to Ryan.
Yeah, you should sing happy birthday to him.
I should.
I unfortunately lost my voice just now.
All right. Now, that's not going to happen. But happy birthday to Ryan, though. Oh, that is his birthday present. I won't sing happy birthday to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Happy birthday.
His birthday present is for everybody else.
Right, as well. Yes. It's a community gift. Not me not singing. I've sworn never to do that on stream again. It was bad the last time I tried. It was bad.
Your YouTube notifications are on top of things.
Oh, well, that's right. What's up with that, YouTube? By the way, happy Friday, everybody. I'm here with my co-host, Jay Thompson. Don't forget to save, a.k.a. Sam. We're back at you with another live tonight. Hope everybody's Friday is going great. How was your week, Jay? How did your week go?
You ever had 9 straight days of back to back Mondays?
Yeah, every single week.
Yeah, well, it rained every one of them days.
It builds character, I'm told.
Yeah. I swear to God, if I'd been wearing my tinfoil hat like my doctor told me I should, I'd have got struck by lightning.
Never thought of it that way. Maybe I ought to try that. Just make myself a tinfoil hat and go out during the shit. Everybody goes out front and stands under the trees when they hear a tornado's coming. So I might as well at this point. Put my whole building on blast there. Put everybody on blast.
I mean, honestly, with the exception of standing under the tree, they're not wrong.
Right, but during a lightning, there was cloud to ground lightning during this, though. That's the problem. Like,
yeah.
You might as well just put a tinfoil hat on while you're doing it, you know.
But I mean, the first sign of storm sirens, my 120-pound ass is right out the door in the middle of the fucking yard.
Well, I seen that it was going to miss us, so I was like, well, fuck, I'm not going to stand out here and risk getting struck by lightning not to see a tornado. So, you know, right. I just turned around, went back in, you know.
Yeah. You're gonna have some back feed for just a second. I forgot to turn your stream on in the background, so we're gonna have your volume from it till I get to the mute button.
I don't hear any echo on my end. But yeah.
Well, it's because there it is, and okay. There it's gone.
Nice.
There you go. I put it on in the background just in case I have to type something down in this box right here with all these weird things in it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, we just started a little bit early, so welcome everybody. Happy Friday. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Kahisk Fadad.
This comment of the year.
It is a Norwegian slang term for I'm a whoop some ass.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Happy Friday, everybody. Do you want to go ahead and what do you want to do here? You want to show your cards and see? Hey, what's up, Daniel?
I will here in a moment. Get a couple people.
All right. Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, ultimately, everything's for sale, but on the other hand, I don't want to sell my Mickey Mantle.
True. Well, we can just hang out if you want to just hang out. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, money does talk. I do have a need for it. Oh my God. You know, I got hell. I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters and a whole shit ton of niece nephews. Hell, I got cats I'll sell you before I sell you. Want to sell my mantle.
I get it. Hey, what up, Titus? Happy Friday.
It is what it is.
It is. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to sell it either. But if I had to, I would, though. You know, it's just one of those things.
Well, it's not that I had to. When I decided, I think I'm gonna sell it. But since I made that decision of thinking I was okay with selling it, I had another bill pop up. So
How much for the cat? Hey, what's up? I got your guys' package in the mail. Long
yeah,
ball.
yeah. Packages are in the mail. Well, I'll tell you, Ranger. God,
I don't know if you want Jay's cat. Jay's cats are known to tear up baseball cards. Just putting it out there.
they are. They are. They are. I mean, I'd sell them, but shipping by the pound is going to be really expensive because Ranger has a fat ass that starts at her nose and ends at the end of her tail.
Just like every cat. Yeah.
Well, you've seen Ranger.
He's a big cat. Yeah.
She's rotund.
Hard pass.
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem with with Ranger. Shipping her is going to be a real bitch.
Not that you couldn't. You actually can.
Yeah.
Man, livestock. Like if I wanted to prank somebody, I could send some cows to wherever their address is through the mail. You know, it would cost a lot. It would be an expensive prank, but
You know
but I did put some extra cards in there. I actually had some Acuñas that I found laying around. Like I said, for some reason he's one of the guys that I pull cards of often. So I had some extra ones laying around there.
Oh well, I don't even know where my damn animals are.
Mine's on the bed. So
All right, for everybody's enjoyment here that's watching, Cubs win 13-0 today. Nico Horner is on fire.
yep.
And yes, three of the last 6 games, 7 games, 8 games we've played have been against Oakland. We went from at the Dodgers, at Oakland, to the Dodgers coming into town. So we're doing it against the Dodgers too.
Nice.
One
the Cubs might actually
hit today. One freaking hit today. One hit.
The Cubs might actually make some noise this year. It'd be kind of cool to see.
One hit, and I was upset. Sam knows.
I would be upset to lose a perfect game in that manner. I would. I'd be like, I would have a conversation after the game. I'd be talking to my teammates, you know.
Yep. If I was pitcher, I'd be for killing that catcher. If I was catcher, I'd be for killing that pitcher.
No, I would use it as a way to, you know, get to like as in baseball, everything's teamwork. So you got to like be on the same page with your teammates, and I would use it as an opportunity to do that if I was on a base. I'm not saying I'm that talented or anything. I'm just saying hypothetically, you know.
Yeah, but to lose a perfect game because your pitcher and your catcher collide going after an oh shit, I touched the ball with my bat type hit.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
That's a Cubs. That's a Cubs game for you.
Yep, that is.
No, they had a shortstop. He's now playing second base there, Mr. Long Ball.
Here's a question: what do you guys think about the Oakland Athletics? Like the Las Vegas Athletics, that just doesn't have the same ring to it.
I don't like it. I don't like the fact that the Raiders are there. Do I have a problem with Vegas having pro teams? No, I don't. But I don't know. If I was Vegas, I'd want a team that's not known for moving around. I mean, how many places have the A's been? How many places have the Raiders been? Go ahead and tell me too. But yeah, it was a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So yeah.
I just thought it was kind of crazy for it to happen that way. Just all of a sudden, you know, two weeks season we're talking about selling. The Oakland got sold to Las Vegas.
That's fine. Let's keep sports betting illegal by moving professional teams there.
Right. Well, I think part of the problem is that the Vegas has the money. Like it's kind of funny because like LA had several teams. The Rams, they had the Angels, and then the Dodgers, and it gets to where you've oversaturated the market at that point, and that's why they're all going to Vegas, because Vegas started off without a hockey team, without a football team. So it's kind of a pendulum, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that one you just pulled up right there. I mean, is there more room for more pro teams? I don't know.
I think so. I don't know if you're ever going to get the Expos again, but I think there's a conversation there to be had.
Yeah, I really don't think I'd have had an issue with, even though it would have really screwed the scheduling and everything up if Oakland had moved. Shit, it wouldn't have screwed them up. Montreal's on the left side of Canada, right?
No, it's on the East Coast. It's out towards the east.
I thought Toronto was East Coast.
I know it's out there east somewhere. I don't know.
Why does Canada have to be difficult?
It's a big country, dude. Like Canada is a really big country. There's a lot of land there.
God,
honestly,
I'll make Canada smaller.
Alaska's like 4 Iowas, Jay. So
I'll make Alaska smaller too.
Just the frozen parts.
Yeah,
which is 90% of it.
Yeah. Vote for me for president. I'll move all the ice from Alaska to Canada. They can have it. Helps with maple syrup production, I guess.
Maple syrup production. Go talk to Jeff on that one. He's the maple syrup expert. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. There it is. Well, I wouldn't want I wouldn't want to see the A's gotten rid of. They've been around since forever. They're one of them century-old teams.
Yep.
I mean, Boston, Philadelphia, Kansas City. Oh, what? Oh, man, who's this?
Probably the garbage. They won't eat them.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's going on, buddy? Shit, I didn't load my tobacco. I'll be back.
We were just talking about the Oakland Athletics moving to Vegas. What are your thoughts on that, Mike? Can we get Mike the Car Dude hot take here?
Everybody's leaving California. Why not the sports team?
I knew that was going to get said at some point.
I mean, hell, there's no border in California. Run.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think that's the only cause of it, but it doesn't help, though. But yeah, I get your point.
Having lived in California, I can say Mike's not wrong.
Same here, Long Ball. I Am McGlovin. Yeah. I love that movie. I used to have Superbad on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it was a harsh 420 to go most of the day without, but my brother came through with some dab for me, so it worked out.
Oh, I felt so bad for you, Mike, and after I sent that picture, I'm like, oh, crap. Yeah. That's rubbing it in. I wasn't trying to.
I can't blame you.
No. If it's any consolation, I finished my last actual flower bowl at 4:19.
So, a minute early.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jay's used to starting early, if you know what I mean, Mike.
And finishing early, from what I've heard.
Really, guys? I was on for 5 hours. Was I not?
Oh, so what you're saying is that the what those pills you take for erectile dysfunction weren't working?
Yeah, the Viagra. Well,
Yeah,
it
the
takes a long time.
Viagra.
Yeah, if it took you 5 hours, that just proves it takes a long time to shoot pool with a rope.
He was looking for the end of it.
If you came here looking for penis jokes, you came to the right place, folks.
Yeah, I tell you, at least I thought she was looking for the end of it until I realized she was just tangled up in it.
Right on, long ball.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I had to make a run to the store.
Dude, I go to the store, it's going to get expensive. They have not one, not two, but 3 barrels of hot pills. I swear to God, I feel targeted.
Shit, if I got if I got an erection that lasts longer than 5 hours, I just sort of set a personal best the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Should I got an erection for 5 hours? I need to go down the water and paramedic.
I'm figuring if Sam's got 5 hours going on, he spent at least 4.5 of it with a hand cast.
Hey, I have carpal tunnel after that.
A carpal tunnel and a freaking whatever you want to call it that looks like a bicycle hand.
Sue Hustler for punitive damages.
Yeah. Your naked women caused me physical harm. I'm suing you.
You got to sue Playboy. You can't.
You damn sure can't blame Bud Light for that one.
No.
You can't sue Hustler. Y'all seen the movie. You can't sue.
It's funny. It's funny because I stopped drinking Bud Light fucking a long time ago. Like as soon as I figured out there was an Irish beer out there called Mickey's, man, you drink 4 little glass bottles of Mickey's, you're going to get way more drunk than you're going to get off 2 cases of Bud Light. Don't even give me none of that natty ice bullshit. Like I won't even touch it. Like I don't know. I got expensive taste when it comes to my alcohol. That's one good thing about me just not drinking. So.
Oh, it's funny. I grew up on cheap beer.
Yeah,
life is too long to drink cheap beer.
That's right. If you're going to do it, right.
White can with the black label that just says beer. Yeah, I grew up on that.
It's like carbonated goat piss.
Yeah.
NA ought to hire me for a job because I remember I've told actual meth addicts here, I'm like, if you was doing this shit right, you'd have died a long time ago. You don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
They hated me, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It could have been something I said. I'm not sure. I make jokes, but you have to know, in order to do something like that, you got to know some chemistry if you're doing it right. You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah. I barely trust the toast I cook. I'm certainly not going to snort any drugs I'm going to cook.
Long ball, if you handed me a goddamn Steel Reserve, I would throw it back at you. That's what the fuck
back
I would.
in my drinking days, if you handed me a Steel Reserve, I'd take it to the head and say, "Where's the second one?"
Yeah.
When I was drinking, I wasn't about just drinking. I was about getting so fucked up I couldn't stand.
Like I said, I had expensive taste. I would save up money to go buy a bottle of Remy Martin, and I'd get drunk as shit off of that. I wouldn't want to drink
it. Me and my buddies, we'd each pitch in like $20 and go down to Great Lakes Brewery and pick up a keg.
What we used to do is like, you know those
you have to.
Those cherry limeades from Sonic with the cherries in them. I used to love them damn things. what we do is we get like one of those, and we get like some Remy Martin, and we pour it in that, and we get drunk as shit. We'd sit back and get drunk as shit. It was fun shit.
We go down to Great Lakes and get a keg of PBR.
That's what I was doing, but I was fucking making moves at that time too. So it's like I could afford to blow money on stupid shit, you know.
Well, if I wanted a beer, I'd just walk up to whatever table Grandma and Grandpa were sitting at and pour myself a glass. And it was either Hamm's or Schlitz, depending on which one.
I guess my point with the Bud Light thing is I stopped drinking beer a long time. Even if I started drinking again, I wouldn't drink beer, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't even be drinking Bud Light.
What I think about that is if PBR gives you beer glasses that make women look good, and Bud Light has been doing that for years, how many people out there that just turned because of the beer?
Actually, that beer never gave me that effect, really. I never got that out of beer. It was everything else that caused that, but won't get into that.
Yeah.
It was usually the hard drugs, I'll put it that way. What got me caught up making stupid decisions, I'd be on them hard drugs. I wouldn't sleep for 4 or 5 days. And of course, you know, once you stay up a week, your decision making skills drastically reduce.
Well, what I'll say about my alcohol influenced decisions is they weren't influenced by the mass quantities of alcohol I was drinking that day. It was influenced by the mass group of Marines I was drinking with.
Right. It also helps to be around the people. Yeah.
They're all tens at closing time if you drank a whole bottle of firewater.
Dude. The guard shack were those that were helping out with the MPs guard the base. It was in an A-frame like this. You can get all the way up to the roof. So we ran up to the roof, slid down, ran back up. We were sliding down this fucking roof.
Alcohol has an effect on you guys. That's for sure.
Yeah. It was funny. Everybody below the rank of corporal got in trouble. They didn't even give Gunny a second.
The one beer that like most people would consider cheap that I drank, it was only because I was in Moline at the time, and that was Keystone Light. Everybody drank Keystone Light. There was the weirdest fucking shit ever. I don't understand it.
I would rather not drink than drink Keystone or Busch.
All right. I wasn't a big fan of it, but that's just what, you know, if it was around and I had nothing else going on, I'd drink one or two, but it wasn't.
My grandfather drank 40 ounces of Busch for as long as I could remember.
It was always
them ugly brown fucking 40-ounce bottles.
Right.
It was always Hamm's and Schlitz for Grandma and Grandpa. Unless it was the really generic-y shit.
No, if they didn't have Busch, Grandpa drank Black Label.
Then it was always warm. There was always fresh fruit and vegetables in the refrigerator, so there wasn't room for beer, so they kept it in the closet because they weren't going to go without beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a second freezer.
The beer and coffee things, you know, you go back to the beginnings of the colonies here in America. It's always been a thing here, right? We love our coffee and we love our beer, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so how'd your week go, Mike? What happened with your week?
Not much. I mean, hell, I'm trying to stay in shape, riding around on the bike a lot. Hell, we're supposed to be getting snow next week.
Yep. We got freeze warnings here tonight.
Dude, it's 82 degrees right now, and it's supposed to snow this week. Well, next week.
I didn't realize you were in Iowa.
Yeah.
Right. It might as well be. You might as well be at this point.
Yeah.
I forgot to say long ball. I have to email him his tracking number. I forgot to do that before. I had a lot of stuff going on before I went live tonight. I was worried I wasn't even going to make it. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking my package should probably be getting there today or tomorrow. So.
Well, it just got mailed out yesterday. So, but anyway. So everybody's week went all right. Sounds like Mike's doing good. I'm trying to get in shape too. I was just saying to Jay before the stream, I want to go that nature trail that I went down the other week when it was warm out.
Yeah.
I want to. There's some perfectly good camping spots there. No motorized vehicles are allowed, and I'm not going to ask for permission. I'm just going to go up into the woods. There's fields over there. I could go pretty much anywhere, and no motorized vehicles. It's barely enough for two people to walk on this trail side by side. Basically, that's the size of this trail. It's more like a walking thing. And
That's pretty small.
Yep, there's little clearings and stuff. If you had a small size tent, you could set up a tent out there and camp out there. Look at the stars, get some fresh air, get away from technology for a while.
I need my Pornhub.
Yeah, they keep arresting Jay for pulling his dick out in public and jerking off. The last time he tried it, anyway.
Yeah, well, the last time they tried it, they put on the handcuffs, and then they realized that's where they screwed up.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So you gotta lean on Pornhub there. Anyway,
My
I would
exercise too.
if I could get my hands on a good cheap tent, I would definitely go out there to camp because it just looks like a quiet and peaceful spot. So,
Well, tell you what, when you
right now would be the time to buy because a lot of the places are going to have last year's stuff on clearance.
yeah, that's true. I don't got the money to do it right now, but if I did, or if somebody had a tent that would loan it to me, I would definitely go out there sometime this spring or summer when I had time.
I tell you what, Sam, when you come here, I'll let you dig in my closet. There might be a tent in there.
If I could afford to ship it, I'd send you one. I have 5 or 6 of them in my shed.
Right. And if I could afford the shipping, I would just pay for the shipping, but maybe next month or something. I don't know though, because next month I'm going up to Jay's, so I'm gonna have to save my money for that.
Well, I'll save you on a sleeping bag. I got a 0 degree bag with a waterproof carrying case or carrying bag with it.
Those 0 degree sleeping bags are awesome. I used to have one. I don't have it anymore. I used to.
Yeah. I've got 2 or 3 of them here and there.
Right.
This one happens to come with a Willie Peter bag. It's the new style, not the old style, so I don't like it.
Right. So what about it, gentlemen?
What about it?
Well, the theme for tonight is what are you fighting for? What's your why in life? That's my theme for tonight. So what about it, gentlemen?
Shit. The only thing I'm fighting for is time and having a good one.
Is that what keeps you going in this life? Is that it? Is that the only thing?
That's it, man. Having a good time. Because I mean, otherwise, what makes life worth living? I mean, you don't come to every morning and jump out of bed saying, I'm looking forward to struggling today. You know, you look forward to the good times.
Yeah. I hate jumping out of bed wondering which truck's gonna hit me.
Yeah.
Not my favorite feeling in the morning.
And I know Mike, that's some of Mike's too, his family. I know that Mike's family keeps him going, Kat and, Christopher. And I know Jay's does too, to a large degree. For myself,
family keeps him on the brink of sanity.
A lot of my close family died and stuff. So like, I don't have any close family around no more. So sometimes I got to look a little bit deeper than most, maybe for inspiration sometimes, I guess.
Well, you got us jackasses behind you to kick you in the ass.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you do. And
with friends like us, who the hell needs enemies?
Hey, I appreciate it. I want somebody to kick me in the ass at times. I need it. It's just the way I was. And I need an opponent. That's one thing about me. Everybody says, Sam, you're always looking for this opponent. And I'm, well, yeah, I grew up a military brat, and everybody tells me life's a fight, right? Like, so
it taught me that at a young age. From a young age, I already knew that life's going to be a fight, right? Like I went into life knowing at a young age it's just going to be a dogfight. That's so that's kind of what led me to the whole Jason. That was part of the thing that led me to the whole Jason thing. You guys were asking me last week. You guys were giving me crap and saying what kind of mental deficiency would you have to want to face Jason Voorhees? And the thing about it is, guys, is it's not just any old person that's going to war with Jason Voorhees. I know the movie series. I know where Jason's weak. I know where he's vulnerable. And I'm not going to be alone. I am going to have Mike there. I am going to have Jay there. And I have, I know all of Jason's former foes that have bested him. I might not be the only one on that list, but it's a short list. And, so I got all these things that are going in my favor that most people aren't aware of or I haven't mentioned yet because it never got brought up. But yeah, it's a kamikaze mission for sure. But at the same time, it's kind of funny. I guess what brings me down to is like what I'm fighting for is I'm fighting to get back to, Dad and our roommate Karen, all the people we lost along the way in our little adventure we call life. And so that's kind of what I'm fighting for. I kind of was given a second chance at life and I'm trying not to waste it. Now, everybody wants to say they're on the right side of God and all this and that. Well, what's that mean? That means that you fight evil, right? Like your goal is to fight evil. Am I right, guys? Is that your goal in life? Does that sound like a noble goal to have?
Sure.
Hey, if that's what you want.
And who is more evil and who is more powerful and unstoppable? Jason Voorhees has been running roughshod for 5 decades. Not even Freddy Krueger could stop Jason Voorhees. Like even that was a draw.
Oh.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
What I'm trying to say, gentlemen, is that sometimes in order to get to heaven, it's hell, right? I had to go to hell and find Kane Hodder to defeat him. I had to go to hell, literally, to find my own opponent that was worthy enough for me to face. That's what I had to do. Like I was telling Jay, life is a win at all costs affair, and I'm just doing my part. I'm just playing my role here. Life's the most evil, sadistic thing in the world, and life is not fair. And I think one of the big problems we have in America is that we're trying to make life fair, and there's just nothing we can do to do that. It's not in our power to do. Certain things in life are just going to be unfair. Sometimes you just, Mike knows what I mean. Like Mike knows that you'll find people locked up in prison that aren't bad people. They just got caught up in bad situations. That happens all the time.
Yeah, life's a bitch. I mean, you got to go out there and do something if you want it to change. You can't just sit back and wait.
What motivates you guys? Like, what gets you motivated? That's a question I always wonder. Because at this age, guys, it's hard to get motivated. It's hard to wake up, like you said, every morning. When you get older, you're negotiating with your body just to get more out of it.
Yeah, I suppose I make deals with my ass to make sure I get out of bed. I suppose, yeah.
Not everybody, Jay, you got your health issues. I know Mike's got his health issues, but despite those issues, we do okay for people that, have issues, I guess. We all have a deficiency in some way, but we all overcome it in some way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just got to keep pushing. You got to just think that today is going to be better than yesterday.
Should I go out and make it better?
Like my grandmother used to tell me, every morning, as soon as you wake up and you open your eyes, tell yourself in your head, I'm going to love everything as hard as I can today. And tomorrow, I'm going to hate everything as hard as I can.
Live life to its fullest, because every day could be your last. I could go out and get hit by a bus tomorrow. Not that I wanted to, but like the universe is about chance. Like things just, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, it seems these days, and you could have some guy with a gun trying to shoot you, for no reason. it's a dangerous world out there, guys. It's a dangerous, messed up, crazy world, and it's our job to navigate through that world, do the as best as we can to do the good, to do good in the world. And it's tough, man. It's tough to do good in the world when everything's so backwards and messed up, I guess.
And the main moral of life is, if you want to live to be our age and be as dumb as we are, you better be damn tough.
Or lucky, or both.
50% luck, 50% stupidity, 50% hashtag cookie tits. Key to
Yep.
life.
Yep, and that's another motivator, cookie tits right there. That's motivation. When you die and you go to heaven, you get cookies and titties. That's what you get.
Sounds like a good place.
Yeah.
Cookies and tits to your heart's desire.
Sounds relaxing.
Right? Fresh baked cookies and milk straight from the tap. Who can beat that?
I'm not fighting for the rewards that people want here now, a big house or fancy car or all that. I'm fighting for what comes after all that. I know sometimes you got to plan ahead for that, because people get stuck in the materialism of everything. And it's fun to collect things, don't get me wrong, but people can go a bit far with it as well. Yes, cookie tips for life, absolutely.
Yes. I have been on a shortage of all three of those things: cookies, tits, and cookie tits lately.
Yep.
Dude, it's so bad. My right arm's begging me for mercy, and my stomach is asking what the hell it did wrong.
Your right arm's begging for mercy because you was on Pornhub, right?
That's what my friends say. Yeah.
Right, he learned to type left-handed real quick.
No, I didn't. I mean, I suppose there's probably typos.
When you're in the throes of passion, it's acceptable, right? So what do you think, guys? Am I on a kamikaze mission? Is that what it is? Am I on a crash test mission?
Hey, you might be, but you won't know until the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to shoot for the moon and land in the backyard, but it's a hell of a trip even if that happens.
Yeah.
Yep, just kick back and enjoy the ride.
And also, I've been thinking about this too a lot lately. What's the key to winning? The key to winning is very simple. Don't lose.
Hell, just have fun while you're doing it.
Right?
Then you win no matter what.
Well, I'm just saying, go in with the attitude, okay, all I have to do is not lose. That's a victory. You will be more relaxed and focused, I guess.
All right, as long as you can tell yourself, I'm not the worst.
Right. Sometimes I wonder if people in society, if they would put their time and energy to projects that they know they'd never live to see completed, would they still do it if they knew that it could help people? I always wonder about that. There won't be no.
People have tried. I mean, look at what Tesla attempted to do. I mean, he attempted to give people free electricity.
Right.
I mean, the government just puts a stop to shit like that. They're not going to let you give away something that they can charge for.
Right. It's all it means of control, basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, if somebody did, out of the kindness of their heart, start something to help the future, the government would either find a way to tax it and make money off of it, or shut it down so that you never knew it existed.
Okay, let me ask you this. Is this worth risking humanity? One of the things about, human beings is if something happens to this planet, we're fucking boned. So what if the only way to keep humanity going is to work on a project we're never going to live to see accomplished, but at the same time, it would prevent humanity from dying out? Would you do it?
Would I do it? Sure, why not? But I'd hate to be about the only one out there. I mean, it'd be my luck. The only people to sign up for it would be 60 old men.
Yeah, right. Be all people as old and decrepit as me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
like, say we were going to send, colonists out there to colonize another planet. Say we found a second Earth out there. So you got the James Webb up there. You know, who knows? We might find another planet that be suitable. Say we send a colony of people there, but that would take a group of people to work on it. And no, they're never going to see any fruits of the labor, and they're never going to see the project completed, yet they would still do it. We only got one planet. Yeah, it is. It's illegal to collect rainwater. Yeah, they want to charge us for it. Ted Turner in Texas, says that water is the next oil. The next World War III will be fought over clean water. That's what it'll be.
They fought over in what the fuck movie is that with Mel Gibson?
Kinda. It's a fight that's going on right now in some countries. Actually, they are literally fighting over fresh water supplies because fresh water. Here's a newsflash: fresh water is very important for a civilization if you're going to have one.
Yeah.
Salt. Without salt, there is no cities, there's no countries. You don't have all this. No salt, none of this exists. That's reality.
Correct.
That's why Britain fought a war with India over salt. But anyway, war. I use the word war loosely. It was more like a squabble, I guess. But you get my point.
didn't America and Canada have a war over a pig?
I know that in France, back in the olden times, that if let's say a farm animal went out and knocked a bunch of fruit stands over or something, they would whip the animal and charge it with a crime the same as they would a human being. Like you'd have these people on the square whipping this pig with a fucking whip or something. It was the craziest shit ever.
Well, I hope my cat's heard that.
I was watching a movie the other night. It was a movie called.
They're stupid. I'll ship them to France.
It's a movie called Summer Camp. It's kind of a cool little movie. It's not. It sounds like one of them old slashers, just by the title and the movie cover, but it's actually not. It's about these kids and they're at this religious summer camp, and basically this one kid decides that we're going to take over the camp. We're going to lock the camp leaders up, and I'm going to take over this camp, and we're going to do what the fuck we want to do. And needless to say, that gets out of hand pretty quickly. I don't think you need to tell me a bunch of teenagers with alcohol on their own devices is going to end up causing something bad's going to happen at some point, and that's exactly what happens. It's a good lesson in human behavior. You know, basically it turned into Charlie Manson, but there was no LSD. All they had was alcohol and a bunch of girls, and and that's it. It was basically the gist of it. I know they've done social experiments where like they made a mock prison and you made mock guards and mock prisoners. They started treating it like it was a real prison. Even though they knew it wasn't real, they started acting like they were really prison guards, and the prisoners acted like they were actually prisoners. It's crazy. People's minds are a crazy thing.
I think Mike ran away.
Did he? He might have lost his internet. Sometimes
probably my fault. I was thinking about flexing.
No, God, not this again. Yeah.
But I didn't do it.
Yeah, and we're using up all the here's one thing about like the fossil fuels thing. What if oil is like lubrication for the earth, and what if we're causing something bad to happen in the future without even realizing we're doing it?
Yeah. The oil's in certain spots. What if we make it lopsided and give it a wobble because it's half empty in some spots?
Everything's in nature. Things are cyclical. In other words, they run in a cycle. Basically, if you ever study things about like nature and stuff, it's always a cycle. And when you start messing with that cycle, that natural cycle, then you're setting bad things up to happen. This is just laws of the universe and how things operate.
Yeah.
And we're only here for so long till our sun stops creating a nuclear reaction of hydrogen. Once it runs out of hydrogen, we're on a time limit here.
Yeah, sure.
Whether we
Sure.
get off of here and survive or not is an entirely different question altogether. But long term, it's not going to happen tomorrow. But long term, it's something we have to plan around.
Yeah. I got it scheduled for next Thursday, just so you know.
And we could get hit by an asteroid next week and it wouldn't matter. None of this would matter. All the things that we value and worry about now wouldn't matter if we get struck with an asteroid or Yellowstone pops off or any number of things happen that could potentially happen.
I mean, it is what it is.
And people don't think about it until it happens. They don't prepare for it until it happens. And then when it happens, oh, it's terrible. And,
I'm more worried about going outside and dealing with the general public than I am going outside and getting hit with a big space rock.
Yep, exactly. It's just like a garden. My garden, like every year during fall, I would burn stuff because it would return nutrients into my soil that the soil needed to have to grow the plants. You can't just keep farming the same land and not putting back anything into it. It doesn't work that way. Your plants will stop growing very well. You got to fertilize that shit,
Yeah.
It's common sense, Another thing is we're overpopulated. There's more people than what our current system of doing things. That's why we had the supply chain issues, and we're going to need to use. And again, there's another thing. Technology. We're always making new technology, but there are downfalls to technology, and maybe there's downfalls that we don't see again until it's too late. And then what do you do? So technology is not always.
A lot of things up for double-edged swords. A lot of things.
We aren't promised success. We aren't promised tomorrow.
No.
This all comes. This is what life is. That's just my opinion on it. Yeah, it is a scary thing. It is a scary. What if all AI decides, these human beings are worthless and I want to run things?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to argue with the general public that the AI would be wrong, but at the same time, that means we die too.
Well, I mean, there's a premise for the movie. Okay. AI starts slowly going bad, right? But the people who's like toaster and microwave and refrigerator are functioning and trying to kill them, they think their house is haunted. So they call the Ghostbuster people type in, and it turns out it's attack the AI. Ghostbusters. They're not the ghost.
The AI has become sentient, as it were. But yeah, that's a crazy thing that's a thing it's on the internet too. They'll like some people that pose as people, they're really AI, and they're just trying to see if they can get one over on you, basically.
Yeah.
Not saying everybody on the internet's like that, but I'm just saying that there are AI accounts and stuff too that you need to be aware of. When you start sending your dick pics out, make sure it's not an AI. I'm gonna make you click this check mark so you prove you're not an AI.
I generally tend to.
No, I'm just saying though. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. You could be talking to an AI and you wouldn't even know it.
I swear to God, I did that. He emailed me back, asked me if I had a permit to carry that thing.
Yeah, you're still stuck on the dick comment. I mean,
yeah,
but you get my.
Sorry.
You could be talking to an AI and you wouldn't know it until if you were aware of it.
It does scare me.
Because if they can impersonate a person, that means they can think like a person. If they think like a person, that means they can plan like a person. If they can plan like a person, they're probably plotting on you.
Oh, well, just because you're paranoid don't mean they're not after you.
Or a government
could get a hold of that AI, like, you know, an Adolf Hitler type, and they could use that AI against the common society as well. So there's another downfall that could happen, you know. Imagine if Adolf Hitler had AI work at his disposal. We'd all be speaking German right now. Or we'd be AI. You know, that's another thing about AI. They're talking about someday making it so they could take a fucking cord and plug it into your head and just download your memories into a fucking mainframe computer, and there you go. You're an AI. You'll live forever, basically.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I can see some good uses out of it. I really can.
Right. But there's
Okay,
downfalls
no,
to it too.
this isn't the guy that robbed the bank.
Right.
You know.
That's the problem. We would use it for the wrong, or the, you know, it could fall into the wrong hands, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's theories that
you
if
did rob
other-
the bank, but you jaywalked 987 times. Here's your fine for that.
what if there's aliens out there, but they don't use technology? They're like, we swear not to use technology at all. Like they don't have nukes. They don't have none of that shit, right? Like they live like it's in the medieval times or some shit, you know?
Well, I wonder about that too, but then I don't wonder if, you know, maybe they have the swords and, you know, the shields and the galleon type shit, but maybe they fly, you know? Maybe in some ways they're ahead of us, but some ways they're behind us.
Right. Well, in order to do any of that shit, you have to know mathematics. There's certain tenets, like there's certain things, like if you sent out, pi, the entire number for pi, that would be understood by another civilization if they had technology, because that means they understand numbers. Everything is based on numbers. Even this internet we're using right now is a bunch of zeros and ones. That's what it is.
I'll be right back.
Empty Pepsi.
I haven't.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. God damn it! Every time you guys show a thing like that on there, I have to say I'm not a sponsor. Yep, drones too. Like they could fucking. Oh, Sam, we don't like what you're saying. All of a sudden, missiles come through, and my, you know, where my bedroom is a crater, smoldering crater. You know, but not to sound alarmist or anything. I'm just saying the downfalls. There are downfalls to technology, is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Well,
Essentially.
I for one, am against self-driving vehicles.
Like, I'm not saying to freak out and go and tell everybody the Martians are coming or anything. I'm just saying that there are downsides to technology, and maybe there's downsides to it that we haven't even thought of yet. Like, that's what I'm saying. You know, just food for thought.
If you come up to me and say the Martians are coming, I'd be like, you're about 90 years too late.
Right? Go to Washington, D.C. They're all there.
Yeah, take a good look at humanity and see where they got their stupidest. Okay, that's when they came.
Like if the aliens come here and tell us to take them to our leader, we're fucked. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't want that to happen. That's where we are. Where we are, folks. That's where we are.
Yeah, they're gonna be pissed because they're thinking we're yanking their chain. I think they're stupid for taking them to the world leaders we got.
Right. Like this has got to be a joke, right? No, we're serious. Yeah. This is what we're working with here.
Yeah.
And I'm not even picking sides either. I'm saying the entire thing in its entirety, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I want both sides to acknowledge that they're in the wrong for certain things, because like that's how progress is made. That's how we, instead of being divisive over things, we should work together on things. I guess we'd get a lot further if we worked out that way. But everybody gets caught up that, oh, it's a capitalism society, except for when it's, you know, Walmart needs bailed out, or Wells Fargo needs bailed out, or all these other companies need bailed out all the damn time. Like people holler about socialism. I think the government's given more money to corporations than anybody in the entire country or anywhere else. There's corporate welfare. Like, you know, sure, bitch about the welfare mom that's got 30 kids or whatever, but also be fair about it and point out the corporate welfare side of things too, where, you know, if you're a business and you're going to go bankrupt, that means that, you know, you're doing something wrong. that means you're doing something wrong as a business. Like your business model is flawed. That doesn't mean that the customers don't owe you business. Like that's one thing I see a lot in America. Businesses seem to think they're owed business. Don't make a good product. Don't make a video game that's complete and doesn't need a day one fucking patch to make it complete and charge full price for it. That irritates me when that happens.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, actually, I blame the quote, "If you build it, they will come," for some of the downfall with that.
it's sucker born every minute. But like
Yeah.
back in the day, man, you get a full game, you pay full price, but at least you didn't need a patch to get all the features to it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see me going out and building some more. Yeah. Oh, hey. I got visitor, guys.
Oh, cool.
Did I forget them?
Yeah.
I did not say that. No. There's fresh pizza right there if you want a slice.
Oh, Naomi's laying down.
Nice to see you. Did you give me a second, guys? You're lucky you didn't answer the phone when I called. I was going off on a rant about my Cubs. 7 2/3 innings. We were pitching a perfect game. Okay. The batter does a really ugly type swing and barely hits the ball forward, basically between the pitcher and catcher.
Sure.
They ran into each
Oh
other.
my gosh.
One fucking hit. The whole game. One fucking hit. One.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Could have been a perfect game.
Yep.
is that Sam?
Yeah.
Hi, Sam.
Hello, whoever
Judy.
was singing.
Yeah.
Okay, hello, Judy. I didn't see anybody on camera, so I don't know. It's a hell of a way to lose a
What-
perfect game.
What's going on?
Why gave me my card?
Oh. She got hers back?
No. The weekend.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just look at
Right. Right. Yeah. Thank you. No. No.
And this is the reason.
Okay.
I will see you when I get home.
All right.
If you guys are still on, I'll be on to heckle.
All right. Have fun.
Hi, Judy.
Yeah.
There you go. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Okay. On today's apparently live episode on Strange Things Knock on Jay's Door, let's go see what it was.
Let's go see what gifts that Jay got tonight, guys. It's not often this happens live. You guys are here for a very rare event.
A bag of buns.
Oh, nice. Got some buns, food.
I did. To go with that pizza that knocked on my door today.
Oh, yeah. I was
Yeah.
telling Naomi the other day, I was like, Jay gets stuff delivered to him. I was like, could you imagine that, Naomi? We get stuff delivered to us? That'd be nice.
9 times
Why-
out of 10, Jay doesn't know what's coming until it's there.
It's a good thing. I'd rather
Oh.
get it a surprise than nothing.
Believe me, I'm not bitching, but why do I want a 10-gallon fish tank?
Hey, what up, Magnus?
How about that? 10-gallon fish tank.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, strange things knock on my door all the time. What up, Magnus? It just really surprised me who it was.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. No. That's fine.
I actually assumed she was at home asleep. I called her about the fucking Cubs game.
Hey, hold on a second, guys. Hold on 1 second here. It's okay. Naomi had a nightmare.
Oh, you better go take care of that.
No, I checked on her. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
That's why I muted myself, because it's like, what the hell's going on? I went out to have a cigarette.
No, is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. Just
Okay.
asking what I was. She's in on the bed. She's in here on the bed. It's all right.
Yeah. I had to do that a few times for Judy. I had to wake up and physically go catch all the cats just to show her they were here.
Yep. Yeah, she does that sometimes, but you got to understand that what we've been through and all that.
Yeah. I figure it was just easier to catch the cats and reassure than it was to argue about how quote unquote stupid it was. I got to go catch the cat because they're both here.
Right. No, she has to know where she's.
Yeah. No, I get it. I learned the hard way in my youth. Sometimes it's easier to get up and just do something anyway.
Sometimes I do it on my own. I don't even have to have anyone do it. I'll wake up on my own and start looking for her.
Yeah.
One of those.
I mean, if I wake up and I'm in the bed all by myself, the first two words out of my mouth are pencil and ranger.
Yep.
Because it's weird to wake up in an empty bed.
It is. Like, it's gonna suck when I travel because I'll be away from bonsai and stuff.
Dude, when I sleep, I swear to God, I gotta sleep like the heck from insane close. That's how I gotta sleep in his shape.
Yep. I get it.
The damn cats. I gotta sleep around them.
Right. No, I get it. I barely got enough room in this bed for me, let alone me and a cat.
Yeah. I got a queen size bed, and I have to fight for freaking space.
I get it.
I'll gladly give them half the bed. It's just irritating. I have to choose it up underneath my armpit, and the ranger has the thing. So yeah,
You get used to this. Once you get around, you get used to it, though.
Unless Reese wants to sleep on my head. She's the fat ass, so.
I remember the cat we had before Bonsai, Tubbers, she passed away. And for weeks after she passed away, I'd go to the store because I used to go to the store. Like, I'd go out in a snowstorm just because she needed a treat. I'd walk to the store just to get her a treat, And, I'd go to the store after she passed away. And I remember one time I actually did buy treats for her, even though I knew she would passed away. I had forgotten. I just seen the treats and I grabbed them. And Naomi's like, you didn't need to get Tubbers treats. She's not going to be able to eat them,
Right.
Yeah. Jay's been cutting out a little bit. Yeah.
I'm saying, does this help?
Yeah. It's just when you turn your face away.
Oh, my dad complains about the same thing. Apparently, I put my head on a swivel when I talk.
Your mic's just pretty sensitive about where you're at, I guess.
My mic's pretty stupid.
I'd agree. If you got a headset with a separate mic on it or something, that might help.
Oh, I'd find a way to break it.
Trust me, I've broken plenty of headsets.
Well, it'd be my luck. I'd get one with an extra duty cord, stand up, and pull the entire laptop off the table.
And I'm not even trying to break them. It's just like shoes. I'm really
hard on certain objects. It sounds about like me with Otani cards.
My Nico collection. My
And I just-
Dan Quisenberry collection.
Yep, I just sent a bunch of Acuñas to you guys too. A couple of them were numbered. I don't know. Probably don't have those ones. I'm hoping.
I don't even remember which ones I sent. I'm hoping I sent the right package to the right one.
Well, I sent like one of them I found was it was a Diamond Kings Acuna short print. There was his 2020 update short print, or not update, but holiday. I mean, his 2020 Topps holiday short print. Just little things that I found, odds and ends of Acuna cards I had laying around, and I don't PC him. I probably should, but I don't. But I might get like one of his rookie cards or something just to say I had it, not the bat down, because that's the one everybody wants and it's outrageously expensive.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really PC nobody but everybody.
Well, you PC Nico.
I do.
Well, I'm just saying, I hope I didn't give you any more doubles. I know how that goes too. But even if I do get doubles of a card I have, I still keep it. So I mean,
Yeah.
even triples
Yeah.
and some.
Yeah, I got a stack of Nico Horners like this that are just 2020 Bowmans.
Yep.
Yeah. I understand.
Your Andre Rison rookie card, you got about 20 of those.
Oh my God! If you only knew.
All right.
I was at a flea market type area on a Camp Pendleton, about 6 blocks away from my barracks, and it was payday. I walked by and I see this dude had a few baseball or football cards on his unopened packs on his table thing for 10 cents a pack. I asked him if he had more, and he said, yeah, he had more. And I'm like, okay, let me see him. And he brings out a whole fucking case of them. I paid $60 for that case.
Damn.
Dude, Emmett Smith rookies, Andre Rison rookies, all versions of the screw up. If it was an error incorrect, I got all the versions. The only thing I didn't get was the fucking Lombardi trophy. And now all I have left out of that is the occasional common pile and those Andre Risons. No clue where they went.
Damn, dude. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, that had a lot of names in it. I mean, it was grossly overprinted. Grossly overprinted.
A lot of cards back then were, though, in that time era. Yeah.
Oh, these were bad, even for that era.
Like the cards back then were so overprinted. I think they the Donruss Elite were numbered to 10,000, and by today's standards, that's a large amount of cards. But the cards were so overprinted that it was rare to pull them. It really was a tough thing to pull, you know.
I remember a buddy of mine went halvesies on one of those. You remember the Don West baseball card show he'd have where he'd sell boxes of crap?
Yeah.
A buddy of mine and I split the cost on one of those. And when we were in the process of splitting it, I mean, he got all the Dolphins cards, which there was a bunch of good ones. I got all the Packers cards, and one of them was a Kurt Warner card because he was on the Packers, because that's who he was drafted by.
Right.
And it was numbered out of like 45. And I was super excited. I ran all the way over to my dad, who don't know anything about football other than Fran Tarkenton was quarterback.
Right.
I don't even think he knows Joe Namath wore pantyhose, and he was 18 to 20 when he was doing that.
Right.
Oh, I was so excited. Turns out
I was
that's a pretty valuable card.
I was watching Bull Durham. That reminds me of the scene in Bull Durham where the guy, the pitcher kid, was wearing the girder the garter or whatever. The woman gave him the garter, and he was wearing it under his uniform.
Nuke
So,
Lelouch.
yes,
Nuke
Lelouch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nuke
Nuke.
Lelouch.
Yes. They're Nuke and Crash. I like their names. Those are good baseball names.
Well, Nuke was Ebby something or other.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, though. It's
Yeah.
a solid.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Costner.
And Susan Sarandon too was in that one.
Yeah. Well, I make this athletic. He's someone who could play. I figure him and Kurt Russell.
You're robot. You're roboting again, Jay.
Oh, damn it. Freaking disco music does it to me every time.
Yep.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, yeah, Kevin Costner was me as being athletic. Kurt Russell, too.
Yeah, Kurt Russell was a good one back in the day. Yeah. There are some pretty good, like you can find some good obscure movies that, are kind of hidden gems on YouTube. If you do enough searching, I'll go on, I love one of the things I learned in college was how to search for something on the internet. It's all about knowing keywords and how to type shit out to where the algorithm recognizes it, and all that kind of stuff. And it's mundane, boring shit, but if you know how to do it, you can find some stuff on here. Yes. What?
Can you make midget porn easier to find for me?
I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for movies and stuff like that. I don't know about midget porn.
It's a movie.
All right. I'm not looking for those kinds of movies. I'm just looking for stuff that is overlooked and deserves more attention,
Insert midget joke there. It's overlooked.
It's overlooked. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Short puns for the win.
Yeah.
No, even though there's nothing wrong with being short, we don't discriminate over here. Everybody's welcome.
Everybody's welcome to get cracked on.
Yeah, well, we make fun of everybody. We make fun of each other. We got in dresses and came on here and asked people to make fun of us because that's just the kind of guys we are. We don't give a shit. We don't care.
I don't care. Pick on me for being old.
Make sure you're typing lower.
I mean, don't pick on me for being old. I hate that. I hate being old.
Yeah, it does suck to be old. By kids' standards, I mean, by some people's standards, we're young. But my neighborhood, if you made it past 18, we're considered old. Just how it is. It wasn't made for longevity, Drive it like you stole it. That's how I always treated my body until now. Now I'm starting to try to take care of it more. Guys, you don't understand. I've been stuffing vitamins into me like nobody's business. I've probably taken more vitamins in the past 2 weeks just to change my diet and get my shit, straightened out physically the best I can. I'm never gonna, box 12 rounds or anything like that. But I'm just trying to get myself prepared to travel, and it's been a while since I traveled, so I'm trying to make it so it's as, I can handle it. I can get up and move around, and I can handle shit,
Yeah.
And I'm kind of training for Jason too. That brings me back around to the original point of today's stream, I guess, is that I'll put it to you this way, guys. I guess I could tell you a story. 7 years ago on this date today, around about this time, I went up to Des Moines at the VA. Jay knows exactly where I'm talking about. And I watched my dad die hooked up to a bunch of tubes, and I held his hand. It was the hardest single thing I've ever had to do in my life, and that happened 7 years ago today. But I'm here to tell you guys that, up until now, it took 7 years to where I could even talk about it without getting emotional. But that's only because I know that I'm fighting to get back to my dad. That's what this is all about. This is my battle with Jason. Jason's trying to get back to his mom. Jason's whole thing was his mom was the key figure. And so that's what makes me the perfect opposition, I guess, is that I'm the same side of I'm the same coin, I'm just on the different side. You know what I mean? It ain't personal. I hate to, I'm going to play spoiler and everybody's going to be heartbroken. All good things have to come to an end, guys. Jason's no different. Jason is no different. It's just one of those things we remember from childhood that's served its place in the lexicon of Americana, I guess. Love me or hate me, either way, I'm going to do what I do.
Do what you do, man.
Cheer me or boo me, either way. I'm cool with either.
You know what? I can come up with a boo cheer for you. Beer.
No beer for me.
No beer for you.
Unless it's Mickey's. Man, I'm telling you guys, if you guys have never drank Mickey's beer, I don't know what you're fucking with Bud Light for, but if I was to drink, that would be what I would choose to drink. If I was to choose to drink beer.
Well,
But
I could
that's-
I could yell chew for chew and boo, or cheer and boo.
You can do that. You guys can make your signs or whatever, wave them like you're in a wrestling crowd or something. We can do that.
Oh God, you know what? It's been my dream to know somebody in a rock band and go to one of their concerts carrying this big gigantic pair of women's underwear and throw them up on stage.
just to see the reaction to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Throw
I knew a dude who was a drummer, and if I ever ran into where he's gonna play, I think I would have done it.
that would be funny to do.
Oh my God, I would have thrown it right.
Just to mess with them, right? Just
Yeah.
think, just to make them think. Got to keep people on their toes.
This dude's band ended up opening for Jackal at Sturgis one year.
Right.
And about halfway through their opening set, Jackal's banner fell down and laid right across him and his drum set.
Oh
So
damn, dude.
he had to keep playing with this big tapestry on him. Oh my God. He showed me a videotape of that. Yeah, that long ago. They videotaped it. Wow. Shit. 20 years ago?
Time flies.
Oh crap. There goes another gray hair.
What do you mean another one? You don't have any on top of your head.
Shh, don't tell them.
I can't remember.
Now,
remember
no
what-
matter how best I do it, it's in
It
that
would-
stage where they're growing wherever they want.
It was Nathan Bedford Forrest that said that. Somebody said, General, your head's full of gray hairs, but you don't have a single gray hair in your beard. Why is that? He says, because I use my head for thinking and I don't use my mouth to run. Basically, he didn't go on with the thinking and talking, and so you got it backwards, right? You do not enough thinking and too much talking is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah, I believe you. That's exactly what I heard, and I'm like, thanks, Dad.
Yeah. That's a cool story about Nathan Bedford Forrest too.
Yeah.
He was quite the colorful character. But
My head's not.
you could learn a lot from the guy. He might have been a country bumpkin and he might have been a Confederate and all, but you can still learn a lot from him, I feel.
I mean, it is what it is.
Everything's an opportunity, even things that are negative, or you can still see, a positive take from them, I guess.
History's full of the bad.
Not saying I agree with the guy's politics, but I'm not saying I would want to face him in battle either, because he was quite the intimidating foe, from what I understand. So
No, I don't agree with his politics myself either.
I'll respect somebody.
Meet him in a backyard.
I'll respect you if you're willing to go out there and fight for what you believe, even if it's something that I personally don't agree with. But if you're willing to put your life on the line for it, I have to respect it.
Yeah.
I might question you. I might question you and say, is that the best strategy? But then again, I'm the guy that's on a collision course with Jason Voorhees. So who the fuck am I to say?
Yeah. Sometimes strategy is only there to throw out the window.
To me, it makes a lot of sense. To somebody on the outside looking in, it may not make any sense at all. But to me, it makes perfect sense. You know, it's the ultimate thrill. I get off on dangerous situations, and what's more dangerous than fighting Jason Voorhees? Like that. That's just, to me, it's like, you know how the guys do skydiving for adrenaline. It's kind of like that. I got one good fight in me, but I want to make it the best opponent I can. Does that make sense? If you guys had one fight left in you and you had a chance to put it all and make it worth, you know, one hell of a fight, then that's, I guess, what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Have motherfuckers talk about it after you're done. Leave a legacy. You know, leave something as a thing to say, you know, here's what I did, and whoever comes along after me, do it better than I did, you know?
Well, in my book, or by my definition, there's two different kinds of fights.
Well, okay, I compare it to
Number
wrestling.
one,
I compare making a movie
physicality.
to wrestling.
Fight number two, mentality.
Making a movie is like wrestling. Yes, it's scripted. Both are scripted. But yes, both can be extremely dangerous. Both things are true.
Yeah. I mean, I like wrestling. I mean, I don't watch this new bullshit they put out right now, but I grew up watching
But they're still out there. They're basically risking their health every time they go out there.
Oh yeah. I'm by no means one of those wrestling fans that know everything about it or claim to or am rabid, but don't refer to it as fake near me.
Right.
Because I remember
guys do get hurt. Guys do get hurt. People get hurt making movies all the time too.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, speaking of getting hurt making movies, I guess they let Baldwin off.
Did they? Well, I mean, that's
the charges.
So much can go wrong. There are like so many moving wheels when you're talking about making a movie that like something like that is a very sticky scenario, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not, he might have got off of criminal charges, but if somebody files a civil lawsuit against him, he's going to be paying some money out, guys, is what I'm trying to say on that. I won't put anybody in a situation of danger that I myself won't put myself into. So that's my leading style. That's how I operate, you know?
Well, even if it was in a movie, I think my grandma and grandpa would roll over seeing me pointing a gun at somebody. I really
Basically,
do.
for me, it's a legal way for me to take out all the anger and frustration I got built up, and it's completely legal, and I don't have to worry about anything. And the person that I will be going against will be more than capable of defending themselves. It's not like I'm going to be, you know, picking on somebody smaller than myself, which would be kind of hard to do. But
yeah. I mean, if I'm going down in a fight, I'm going to prefer it be a battle of wits with someone of equal intelligence or better.
I want a worthy opponent. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I can think of no more opponent more worthy, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like, if you can find a worthy opponent than Jason Voorhees, I'm all ears.
Lose or draw, I'm not going to be the only one waking up in the morning feeling sore. I do guarantee that.
I'll be lucky if I wake up in the morning, but again, it is what it is. I can take a bump. It's not a big deal to me. I can take a good bump, and I might not walk for a couple days, but I'll get over it. Pain's just weakness leaving the body.
Yeah, that's funny. I can throw a good bump. I really can. I'm what's referred to as freakishly strong, I guess.
Hey, whatever works. Again, when you're closer to the ground, you got less room to, you know, for the weight you're picking up to go. So that's why a lot of like bodybuilders and like weightlifters are more, you know, kind of shorter, stouter guys, because it's like it's a lot easier when you got
less room to push, you know.
Yep, they got they got less area to lift.
Right. You're 7 foot tall. You're carrying however much weight you're lifting 7 feet up into the air, which is a lot more energy than somebody 5'8", you know.
Yeah, it's still 500 pounds. I'm not saying it's any lighter when you're shorter. You just don't have as far to go.
You just don't have as much distance to go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just
Exactly.
don't have as far to go.
And that's what, like, it's just kind of how my style has always been, is like, yeah, I'm not as tall as some people are, but you can use that to your advantage. It's all about leverage. It's all about how you use your leverage.
It is. I mean, what they
You can
taught
be
me, basically my hand-to-hand combat training in the Marine Corps was using their freaking weight and momentum against them.
If you're 8 foot tall, it don't matter if you're laying horizontally on the ground. It ain't helping you with a single bit, you know.
At that point, you're laying on the ground. That's 8 feet of area to stomp.
Yep. Now you just got a large area for me to kick and stomp at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigger they are.
In my case, it's and to open my mouth and yell at, talk to.
See, the thing is, I can have fun talking shit on here, but I'm going to have fun, just as much fun backing it up. That's the difference between me and a lot of other people. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, I'm a firm believer in psychological warfare.
Yep, it's all part of strategy. Yep.
Yep. If I'm going toe to toe and swinging with somebody for realsy or whatever, which don't happen very often, I run my mouth while I'm doing it. I will let them know that was their left eye I just punched.
The other part of my thing is I would rather everything in for me that way than in a courtroom over my disability or something like that. I would rather be in control of my own fate, I guess is what I'm trying to say to you. That's the other part of it for me. There's honor in a fight with Jason Voorhees. There's no honor in a disability court, you know? And so I've served my usefulness, I guess. I've lived a life. I've done a lot of stuff. If it all ends fighting Jason Voorhees, I'll take every bit of it. I'll die a happy man. Just all a matter of perspective, guys. You know, statistically speaking, somebody who's lost, like, you know, to death and all that, like a lot of their loved ones and family members have like they got higher depression. They have more physical issues. Like they're more prone to bad end results from it. And because it's tough, man, when you ain't got, like, I'll use a baseball analogy here. Hank Aaron with chasing Babe Ruth's home run record. Babe Ruth had the entire city of New York behind him. Hank Aaron got death threats. Okay.
Yeah.
What Hank Aaron did, yes, he hit more home runs than Babe Ruth, but it was a lot harder road to get there than what Babe Ruth had. And I'm not saying that out of disrespect. I'm just telling it as it happened. Okay.
But on the other hand, even New York people.
Say what, Jay?
Maris got death threats too.
He did. And I think it wasn't so much always a race thing either. It was just Babe Ruth was one of those idols that, you know, they just had a reaction to it. You know, they just had a knee-jerk emotional reaction to it. You know, and that's why I'm talking about the emotional reactions thing. I'm trying to, you know, correct that, because if you're, you know, like, I want to be like, everything I do is deliberate. Every choice I make is deliberate. Everything is done with a purpose and a meaning behind it. I'm not just out here just doing random shit, you know. There's a larger point to it. Maybe no one else sees that point. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you disagree with me. That's fine.
I'm like, whatever. I'm really high. Oh, wow.
Been going about an hour and a half here. I don't think Mike's coming back. So.
No, he's probably having internet issues, or, you know.
Yeah. They said they got weather moving in, so it's probably what did it.
They do. I mean, you're figuring they're about a week behind us in weather.
Yep. It hits us and then hits them about 3-4 days later, usually, and depending on how
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. Every now and then I'll give my buddy in Chicago a heads up. Hey, this is coming. This is what it's doing to us. Now multiply that times your lake. So.
It doesn't help me physically because when we get a giant temperature swing like that, it just makes me in more pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. There's nothing anyone can do about it. I could, I try not to take too many of those like pain meds and stuff like that because I don't like to, but sometimes it's to get through my day. It's what I got to do.
Yeah.
And here lately, it's been really kicking my ass with this last weather system. It's hard, man. When you're in constant pain, like on top of everything, like the depression and all the other shit that goes along with it, it's like, then you feel like you're in constant pain all the time. So then I'll sit here, I'll watch motivational videos just to do my daily routine,
I can't watch those types of things. I want to kill them.
CBD. Yep. I got some Delta in my pen, and that's pretty good too. Yep, it is. It is good pain reliever. It is. My thing is, like the other night, like last time I went out on a walk, here's what'll happen. My legs, my feet, my ankles, and my legs will start hurting real bad, right? Like you know how you feel when you get shin splints? Imagine that all the way up your leg, right? So I'll be asleep and I'll start stretching my legs out really hard in my sleep because my legs hurt and I'm trying to get rid of the pain. I don't even know I'm doing it. So I'll wake up and my legs are all cramped up and I'm hobbling around and shit, My legs have always given me fits, always. But I had to take the Ace wrap. I got one of those knee braces, those copper tone knee braces. I had to wrap I look like a goddamn me. I have to wrap my leg up and shit. Hate it. It is what it is. Like I said, I've been trying to get out, get on my feet more just to be able to handle it, but that's what happens when I do. That's what happens. It's like people think just because I'm on meds and shit that I don't have problems, but that's not how it works, though. Yep, and that sucks, man. It's like once your back goes out, you're like a pyramid. And if your back goes out and your legs are bad, man, you got no stable balance. You got no foundation.
Yep, you got no base. All you got the point on top.
And then I went from not weighing much more than you do, Jay, to like getting an extra 60, 65 pounds on me. So on top of everything, my body's not used to carrying all this extra weight. It doesn't seem like much, but if you're out walking around, you notice it, you're like, damn, I'm carrying more weight around on me than I'm used to, Now I got a backpack on my back full of stuff too sometimes. And it's just like, I got to stop and take breaks. Used to be I could walk all the way across town and back, but
in the long run, it's exercise.
Right. But I can't, like it used to be, I'd be able to walk all around and back. I'd be in pain, but I wouldn't have to stop and take breaks and shit like that. But now I'm getting to where like, I have to sit down and catch my breath and then get back at it,
How old are you, man?
Ooh, long ball? I'm not sure. Yeah. My back's the issue. My lower back's the issue too. That damn sciatic fucking thing, it pisses me off. I wish there was a way they can go in and burn your nerves, but that's kind of dangerous too. Cause if if they fuck up and your legs numb all the time, if you can't feel something, you could hurt yourself. You could cut yourself real bad and you wouldn't be aware of it. You'd bleed out before you realized that you were hurt, and that's the same thing with the pain pills. I don't want to take more pain pills to where if I hurt myself, I'm not aware of it. I sprain my ankle or something, and I'm just keep walking because I don't feel the pain. I don't want that either, So you got to weigh it. It's a game of Russian roulette, Jay. It's all one giant game of Russian roulette.
40,
yeah.
huh?
Yep. Turn 40. Yep. That sounds about right. It's all downhill from there.
physically. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that there's life. Like it sucks. I always say I wish I still had my garden and I was doing my yard work and stuff like that. But retirement ain't so bad once you get used to it. I mean, from active work all the time, I got one fight left in me. It doesn't mean I'm going to do it full time. This is a one-time thing, but just I only want to be able to do it once. It's one of them tricks you can only do once.
Well, let me tell you something. A piece of friendly advice. In 10 years, when you hit 50, just keep in mind, 50 hits back hard.
Oh, I'm sure it's already hitting me, and I ain't even there yet.
Oh my God! I woke up on the morning of my 50th birthday, and they were like, "Oh hell no! Check this out! Pow, 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 pow." Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with your diet too, though, Jay. And I'm saying that in my case too, it works the same for everybody.
I need cookies.
Cookies are good, but you can't live on them and expect your body to be able to,
I
withstand.
haven't had any cookies for like ever.
Yep, and that's goes back to what you put in your body. I'm trying to. It may not seem like it in some ways, but I'm trying to take care of myself more than I ever did. Like I said, I should pay attention more to what I eat. I got a couple candy bars tonight, but I don't eat them all at once. And whenever I have a sweet tooth, I'll have a little bit, but I'm not shoveling food in my face I'm not eating junk constantly, I put good stuff. I put good stuff in my body too. So that way, you want to eat more good stuff than you do with the cookies at this point.
I try. I do. I really do.
It's a lot of discipline and it's hard.
I'm a firm believer in vegetables are a great ingredient.
They are.
I love vegetables in my food. Hang on a second. No.
Cat.
Yeah, the fat one.
And we all got one. Mine's got up off the bed, but she's fine now.
Yeah.
She was upset with me. That's why I put that as my name on here. Was because she's upset because I went to the store and I didn't get her anything. Even though she's not out of anything or anything. She just thinks I ought to get her to the store. So when I go out and get my gummies tomorrow, I'm going to have to go out to the store and get her something because otherwise she's going to flip shit when I get home.
Just leave with a cat toy in your pocket.
Oh, God. Like if anybody even touches her toys, she get the glare of death. I mean, just touching her stuff. Hell, doesn't even have to be hers, and she'll carry my shit off.
I understand. We have something in this house we refer to as Ranger's Cube.
Yep. But she's got stash spots all over the house.
Yeah.
She'll put stuff under the chair in the game room. She'll put it under the couch in the living room. I find stuff under my bed in here. She just stashes stuff. She's got a little stash of her stuff.
No, if you go anywhere near her when she's in that cube, it's like you're bursting my 10-foot bubble.
Yep. And I get it. I get personal.
You don't reach in to give her treats. You don't reach in to pet her. Nothing.
That's her area. Yeah.
That is her freaking peanut butter castle.
Yep. Animals are territorial, and again, human beings are. Look at the borders we have. We got these. Got to make borders. Everything's separated and divided.
Yeah, I mean
that's all one landmass that we're living on, dude. It's all one landmass. So just some asshole king decided to draw a line on a fucking map, and now you're calling it a border. How's that work?
Very, very rarely would I get something for the cats. Do I get something specifically for one cat or the other? Very, very rarely, because you never really know who's gonna like it or not. I mean,
cats very much are like
my animal.
Yep.
To where I knew, because I turned my old hoodie into a cat bed. I knew right away Pencil was gonna take that. I knew because she liked my hoodie, that particular flannel hoodie I had.
that's one of the only way I was able to get bonsai in a cat carrier was put one of my shirts in the bottom of it, and it's still in.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yep.
Yeah. I've sacrificed a few articles of clothing to these cats. I mean,
I had an Old Navy shirt and it had an American flag on the front of it, and that's what I wrapped up Tubbers in when she died. I wrapped her up in my shirt.
yeah.
I actually went through my drawers and looked for a shirt to wrap her up in. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I did.
Believe me, I understand it. Not that I've planned it, but when it's time for Ranger, she's going in her cube.
Right. And you don't
Yeah.
want to think about it, but you have to, though. You have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
As much as we hate to. And don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I do hate to lose. Just because I'm used to people dying doesn't mean I miss them. Don't miss them. I just
Right.
recognize that me missing someone that's dead is me being selfish, and not in a terrible way, not in an awful way, not like greedy selfish, but just, I miss people. And that's
No,
just me
means
being
you're-
selfish.
Means you're human.
Right.
I miss animals too.
Yeah, I do too. I miss my animals too. But again, now I'm being selfish. She was sick. She was in pain. And
Yeah.
for me to want her to stay here in pain and sick is me being selfish. That is. But I
Yeah.
acknowledge it. I recognize it. And again, that
I
goes
mean-
to the emotions thing. Life's a fucked up thing, man. Life's a fucked up
In
thing.
some aspects, you're right. It is selfish, but in other aspects, who cares?
Right. No, I'm not saying it's like it
Yeah.
should be indictable or anything. I'm just saying that I recognize that that's just me missing someone, and it's not a bad thing at all. It does show that, we have
No,
compassion. We're human.
Yeah, it
And
shows your compassion. Yeah.
I miss my dad. I would, again, 7 years ago today, I'd still give everything I have away, and it wouldn't matter because that's not going to change anything. I beat Jason Voorhees. My dad's still dead. It ain't going to change anything,
Right. Huh.
No matter what I do, it's not going to be enough to, it's not going to change anything. That's my own schism I have to work through, That's just my own personal issue, I guess.
Everybody has them.
Just like her roommate Karen, I didn't want to see her die either, but at the same time, I watched what she went through, and I didn't want her to be in pain. So it's like, I was torn. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know what to say.
I'm sorry, but I want you to stay here.
I mean, that's kind of what I said. Yeah, I mean, because she had the choice. She could have chose to keep going and whatever, but she decided it was her time and her terms, and that's what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, my dad made it clear he's a DNR, which in some aspects bothers the hell out of me. But on the other hand, I'm a DNR and I don't care.
As am I.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't.
The only way to keep me alive is to plug me in a machine that can breathe for me. Unplug the machine.
Yeah, that's just too damn bad.
Don't be selfish. I understand where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong. I do. I know just as well as anyone else would know. I've been to funerals before. My problem is I get emotional about shit, and I think that's where a lot of people get too emotional. I get it. It's an easy trap to fall into. It is.
Oh yeah. That it is, and when people
the military side, the discipline side tells me that you can't make an emotional decision as a leader of men. Shit, I don't even know if anyone would want my body. It ain't worth much to me. Why the hell would anyone want my body parts?
Yeah, they're really picky.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
I do know this to be a fact myself. Like I said, I've been through it.
know. So not unless you die of something super rare,
Right. Which,
or you're super famous, I guess.
right.
I mean,
Can't hear you, Jay.
sorry, I was just trailing off.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm high.
Well, we can let you enjoy the rest of your buzz. We can call it here. We've been on here a couple hours almost.
Oh, hey man, it is whatever. I'm just doing what I'm told.
No, we're just hanging out. I'm just bullshitting at this point. But I guess it's what it is for me tonight is reaffirmation, you know, continuing on my pathway here.
Yeah, go for it, man.
And why I bring it up in the first place with the Jason thing is because I'm going to make kind of a vlog style thing where you guys can follow along with my training and I'm going to go to some places and relive some stuff and
Yeah, I mean,
do that. Get myself into some kind of traveling condition.
why not?
Like the thing that most people don't get, like, is in Iowa, it's so goddamn cold out in the winter that yeah, I could go out and walk around in the winter. All I'm going to do is get frostbite. It ain't going to help my health any at all. But,
Yeah. I mean, the frostbite's all you got to worry about because you got to remember there's idiots out driving in it.
right, don't get run over by a snowplow or somebody's car. Or, hey, what's up, Marcus?
And like something to lick.
Right.
Yeah.
What up, Marcus? He was just getting ready, I think, to call it a night. Jay's getting kind of tired over here. So he was just getting ready to say goodnight to everybody. I feel like we missed you. I did send your package out, Marcus. I'll get you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't get I didn't get a chance to send out anybody's tracking numbers yet. I had stuff to do today, and by the time I was wondering if I was going to be able to make the stream on time or not, but I was.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So
Cool.
I sent you the correct cards then, right?
Yeah, I hope you did. I hope you sent him.
I hope I did too. It as soon as they were out of my hand, oh crap! What'd I do? Did I do it right? You know,
Right.
not seller's regret. It was oh shit. It was shipper's regret. Did I do it? Did I leave the oven on when I shipped them?
I hold my breath every time I ship something because I could do everything correct. And the post office could fuck it up, and then I'm on the hook for it, you know. But okay, he loves the Munson, and yes, you did. He got the right cards. Okay,
good. That means McLovin got the correct cards then too.
And I'll get you guys your tracking numbers. So
that's a worry off of me. I was freaked out about that.
Like I'm saying, I'm lucky I made the screen. So
yeah, I don't trust myself.
Oh, I've been mailing stuff for 4 years or on YouTube. I know I'm capable of doing it, but the post office screws up sometimes, and that's what freaks me out more than anything is that the post office is going to screw it up. Just getting me from we got the landlady. Excuse me, got the landlady. She takes our mail in instead of forcing me to go out in the cold. It's freaking cold out, man.
Yeah, that's nice of her. It was hailing out here earlier.
Was it?
Yeah, I looked out the window and it was hailing. As soon as I typed it in the Discord, actually, it's hailing now. It stopped by the time I
Yep.
Well, no, I only sent 2 packages that day, and I sent the correct cards. I was just making sure. So you go ahead and open it when you please. That's all on you, bud. I now know that the correct people got the correct cards because I do know the correct cards got shipped out.
Right on.
So I do know that.
Well, I only sent Marcus one card, so that was easy.
Dude, I'd
course,
find a way to do it. I'd find a way to do it wrong. What up,
Everybody-
Ryan?
everybody wants to come in now. We was getting ready. Now everybody, maybe next time we do a stream, we do that. Like we're just going to end the stream early, and then everybody will show up.
Yeah, that's what it is. Pencil, quick. I'm just waiting for Judy to show up.
Oh, Judy's going to show up.
Well, she said she might, but I'm not saying stay on longer for it because if we're not on, she's gonna call me. If we're on, she's gonna come in here and heckle me. Either way, it's the same result.
Yep, same result.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just glad that everybody got their cards and was able to help you get a controller.
Me too. Me too. Oh yeah. No, go ahead and do it. But I'm not the postmaster. I can't tell you to open it up or anything. That's why when you told me you got it and didn't say nothing else, I was like, okay, he didn't open it yet. He's waiting. I get it
because I'm the same way. Like, you know, especially if I like this last package I got from Mike, I did not remember what comic I bought. I don't know why my brain just blanked it out. It's sort of like Jay with you. You know, sometimes you forget stuff. I knew I wanted it. I just forgot what it was I bought. Yeah. Show him your controller. Yeah, there you go. Here, I'll put this in full screen here. Oh, shit. Unmute.
You breaking things again?
Yes, I'm hitting the wrong buttons and stuff. There you go. You got a long ball says that you got to play him in the show. You got the show, don't you?
Yeah, he plays a different mode than I do.
But yeah, it is a nice controller. It does look like a nice controller.
Oh, the best thing about that controller is through the magic of the silver tongue that us Thompsons have. When my brother went, he like decided, okay, so you know, I'll just instead of giving Jay the money and him going and getting the controller, I'll go get a controller. Found where he can get an actual Xbox controller with the warranty in case I drop it or throw a stupid interception or a 3-putt par. So, yeah. And it only cost $31 after him finding discounts and
I did throw some
somehow not being an asshole.
I did toss a few non-Acuna related Braves cards in there too. I have like Brave stuff laying around. Come on. Or I did anyway. I did.
I had such a hard time finding Braves cards. I don't have a lot.
I think I got a Ian Anderson rookie card laying around here somewhere still, and I still got some good Braves cards.
I mean, the Braves, as long as I've collected baseball cards, the Braves have never been on my radar. I'm an angry Cubs fan. I'm pissed at the Braves.
Oh, I can understand that. Yeah, Greg Maddux.
Yeah, 100% Greg Maddux is my reason for being pissed at the Braves. Not that I give a crap.
The thing about Greg he did.
But
the thing about Greg Maddux is he didn't have 100-mile-per-hour fastball. He wasn't going to overpower you with the stuff. His thing was he was the smartest. It was why they called him the professor. He would outthink you. He'd beat you by outthinking you. He didn't have to do it by physical prowess. In fact, if you ever go back and watch him with the Cubs, he looks kind of like a nerdy professor. He does. He kind of looks like it. But when he got on the mound, nobody was laughing because he was dominant, you know.
Dude, you remember that cheesy little mustache he had in his early cards?
Yep, his porn stuff.
I first saw him pitch before he could grow that.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
And even back then, he was a raw rookie that nobody thought was ever going to amount to anything. You know,
he was something then. We knew he was going to be something.
Right. I'm talking the larger outside of that maybe, but yeah.
Yeah. Once he figured figure it out.
Once he
You know,
got
did
to
okay in
Atlanta, people
basketball.
started taking notice. Once he got and started getting
Uh,
through the playoffs and stuff. Because you got to remember, the Cubs weren't the best team back then.
Yeah, but he had a Cy Young and a couple Gold Gloves by that point in time.
Yes, he did. Yes.
At least
No, he was no slouch when he got to Atlanta, but he really started to really shine once he got there, though. You know,
they did have a better pitching coach.
they did. And they had Steve Avery and John Smoltz and, you know, David
They-
Justice. They had a whole team there, you know.
Look, I'm always down. I think Greg Maddux is probably the best pitcher. I know he's the best pitcher I ever personally saw. And I seen Kerry Wood, Rich Hill. What the hell is his name? Mark Pryor.
Maddox was a once in a generation kind of guy,
Oh
pitcher.
my God!
He was amazing. He was amazing.
I mean, imagine this team. Maddox on first or on pitcher. You got freaking Grace on first. Dunston at short. Yeah. Wow. Freaking Incaviglia was there as a catcher.
Catcher.
Palmer-
Got Dawson.
Palmero was there at the same time as Maddox. I mean, God,
Dawson was there too, wasn't he,
was
for a
in
while?
left field then. Yeah, and this was in Iowa. This wasn't in Chicago.
Right.
This was here in Iowa.
That's awesome.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I mean,
Greg Maddux was one of my favorite pitchers growing up, and I'm not even gonna lie about that. Because I watched Cubs games, and I seen him play for the Cubs, and so
yeah.
that's how I knew, all those guys. Is how I knew.
I really wish I can remember more names of the visiting team that came through because I got to talk to a lot of them guys as well. I mean, the first time I met Fergie Jenkins, he was a pitching coach for the Oklahoma City 89ers.
Oh shit!
Yeah, here in
Messina was a good
Iowa.
pitcher too. Yeah.
You see, he played. The team I had near me was American Association at the time. Messina was on the International League. He never would have came through here.
Right.
So I never would have seen him.
He was still a good player though.
I could have seen Mike Trout in his single A or double A days.
That's awesome.
He did play here, or well, when I say here, I mean Iowa. He was a Quad City River Bandit, I believe.
I'm going to make it's not really going out on a limb, but I'm going to figure that by the All-Star break, we're going to realize, shock of all shocks, that the Angels aren't going to make the fucking postseason. At that point, all the fucking pressure in the world is going to be on the Angels to trade Ohtani. I can just see this coming. This is coming down the pike.
Well, if in the AL West, if the A's aren't going to win it and the Angels aren't going to win it, who's that leave? Seattle and
And the Dodgers, neither of which are playing their best baseball.
The Dodgers are a National League.
Oh yeah, that's right. But I'm just thinking teams out west in general. But yeah,
Yeah, I can't think of the American League West. It'd be Texas.
Spencer Strider is a beast.
Texas.
He's going to be a future Cy Young candidate right there, if he stays healthy. That is.
I may
Man,
possibly have an autograph of Spencer Strider.
I know Ohtani pitches tonight. I think his ERA is like 0.86 right now. Like Ohtani's ERA 2 weeks into the season is under 1. Jesus Christ.
I have yet to face Ohtani in my game. I have yet to face him. I don't know why.
He pitches against the Royals. That should be an easy game.
He'll ever look past any team.
True. That is very true.
Don't ever.
He tends to play well against the Royals, though.
He tends to play well against everybody.
That is true. That is true. I'm not betting against
You know
him.
what I mean?
That's all
to
I'm
me, saying Otani pitches well against the Royals is like saying Nolan Ryan pitches 100 fastball.
Everybody says
Yeah.
the thing about Otani is, he's not an exceptionally great pitcher. Well, you can't say that. There's a long season left, but by the view of it, I mean, he's going to be a solid pitcher, top 5 pitcher this year if he stays healthy. He has the potential to be a top 5 batter. I mean, you name another player that can be a top 5 pitcher and a top 5 batter.
Me.
Oh, okay, that's currently in the major leagues. I mean, it'd almost be like being both a pitcher and a catcher would be impossible because you can't be both because you'd be throwing the ball to yourself. That'd be kind of crazy, wouldn't it?
Oh my God! If I was both pitcher and catcher, every time I touched the baseball, I'd stand right in between the pitcher's mound and home plate and yell at myself.
yeah. Wouldn't that be fucked up? Yeah. That wouldn't work out quite so well. Unless he did it like when he wasn't pitching and he played catcher. I mean, I could see that working. I could see it translating over because like a catcher has to know all the different pitches and shit. So I mean, hypothetically, it's doable. You just couldn't do both at the same time. Is all.
No. I tell you, playing catcher on this road to the show. Oh my God, it was so hard until I was able to get him a decent glove.
Well, that's what makes being a catcher like that's what makes Johnny Bench so amazing. Is like it's tough being a catcher. It's tough on your knees, it's tough on your back. You're crouched down every game, catching 90-mile-an-hour fastballs and shit all day. It's a dangerous job. It is. I got respect for the catchers. Yeah.
Oh God, and the worst part about catching was how much I loved it.
You might catch a piece of the bat to your face every once in a while.
That's actually how the position to catcher came open to me. So yeah. It didn't happen to me, but it did to his name was Mike. It did to Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They're very much well. Not only that, but catcher. Well, it used to be until they did the pitch comm thing. It used to be the catcher would call all the, the pitches or whatever.
Oh my God! I tell you what, that was my baseball field. That was my home plate. That was my pit. That was my pitcher. Yeah, I mean that's what I loved about being a catcher. I was telling everybody. I was telling outfield where to go, infield where to go, pitcher what pitch to throw. I was telling umpire what were strikes and what were balls.
I can't remember what it was. I was watching a video, and I can't remember the catcher it was or anything. But the story was like he was calling the game behind the plate. He stood up and he told the right fielder to move about 20 feet back, and the right fielder did. And the very next pitch, the pitch was hit. He didn't even have to lift his glove up to catch the ball.
Yeah.
If a catcher tells you to do something, don't ask questions. Just fucking do it. That's just what it is. That's what it is. That's old school catching anyway.
That's one thing I loved about we always called her coach. This was on my softball team. We played in a men's league, but every once in a while we'd throw her in the lineup. Nobody dared to say anything. She was as much of the team as anybody else was. So we'd throw her in the lineup every once in a while and toss her a bone.
Right.
But when she was keeping score, she'd always draw lines where they hit the ball when they made contact. So
kind of giving a scouting report on what all the batters think.
Yeah, I'd go in, I'd look at the scorecard and figure, okay, these next couple of guys are up. Okay, short, second. I mean, she didn't say outfield, infield. It was just lines.
Right.
So.
And they banned the shift. What do you think about banning the shift? What do you feel about that whole thing?
Well, I mean, I
Don't care.
don't care. I don't like it. I mean, hit it where they ain't. Don't complain about the four infielders between second and first base when you can freaking bunt down the third base line and get a fucking double out of it, you fat lazy ass.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and there's so much focus on the home run ball anyway. I mean, it's not like
Fuck the home run ball. The
no.
focus
I'm
is
with you.
goddamn trophy.
I'm with you. I'm with you. There's too much individual achievement for people to play as a unified team in baseball, and so it depends on who you got on your team. But I'm generally speaking, you got somebody that's like Otani that's knows they're going to get traded. That's going to give you a different mindset too. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm against the shift. I'm against the Manfred man.
oh my God, I was telling you about that. I said that is the dumbest rule ever.
I hate the Manfred man. Oh, you're gonna strike out in the bottom of the ninth with the bases loaded? Okay, here's your punishment. Go to second base.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, what? What? Your team came back from a 4-0 deficit. Here's your punishment. They get a guy on second base.
A free guy. You don't even. It's not an intentional walk.
Yeah.
You didn't hit the batter.
Yeah. I mean,
it comes down to luck. Who gets to bat last? Like the Angels Yankees game the other day. The only reason the Yankees won that was because the Angels never got a chance to bat. At least not that I'm aware of. Anyway, you got the guy on second. That's what it's. If you're up to bat, you're the first one up to bat. It's your profit on that one.
So I mean, it still goes. The visiting team scores, the home team still gets the bat. So
right,
but I don't like that. And I honestly think this pitch clock is gonna cause problems.
Well, in the postseason, especially because
physical problems.
True.
Physical. You're the pitcher on the mound, let's say. You go to get ready. You feel off. There's something not right.
It's funny.
You still have to throw it because all of a sudden, if you don't throw it, it's a ball. You do throw it. You tear your rotator cuff because there was something not right. You needed to adjust.
All this just to make the game shorter. That tells me people's attention spans are getting shorter. It doesn't mean that the rules need to be changed. People need to get longer attention spans.
You want to tip on shorter baseball games? Don't let a crappy team like the Cubs send 11 batters to the freaking fourth inning.
Yeah, in any
that's a tip for shorter games.
Yeah.
Don't allow that to happen.
Yeah, I don't know how they got the pitch clock. I mean, I guess it's sort of like a shot clock, but again, basketball is a different sport. So,
yeah.
Or you could, the play clock in the NFL too. There's another example. It's not a new concept by any means, but it just feels weird in baseball, I guess.
No.
Yeah, exactly, Marcus. They're after that dopamine hit. They can't wait 10 seconds to get that dopamine rush. It's like, dude. It's like 30 seconds. You're like, I only got time for 30-second videos on TikTok, but you spend all day watching 30-second videos on TikTok. Well, you spent the exact same amount of time. You just watched more videos. Is basically all you did.
Yeah. I get it. Now, I'm also the first one to admit I've got the attention span of an adolescent fruit fly.
Right, but when the problem becomes when an entire large section of the population has that problem to where now we're trying to find ways of making baseball games shorter. Tell you what, you want to watch short games? Don't watch Major League Baseball. It's been like this for over 100 years.
Yeah. Go to the Little League where them kids are playing and they're having fun doing it.
Did they keep the double headers only being 7 innings? That was another thing that I kind of felt was kind of chintzy.
Yeah. And I don't like the fact that it takes 2 tickets for the doubleheader.
Right,
I
you're
don't-
paying the same price, but you're getting 2 plus innings.
I don't like that.
That's normally what I do is watch the highlights because I really don't have time to sit and watch a 3-hour game most times.
Yay freaking AM radio, man. I play it on my 1990 style boombox. It does have a CD player on it.
Right, just go travel to Britain and watch cricket. That's right.
I thought about watching crickets, but they kind of creep me out when they fly near me and that noise they make.
No, the game cricket.
Oh, yeah. Crickets are baked. You don't play with them.
Yeah, exactly. It's all perspective.
Ain't cricket that game where you can score 6 runs by hitting a foul ball?
I don't know the rules of cricket. I've never tried to play it. If I wanted to play cricket, guess what? I'd fucking play baseball.
Well, I had a cricket game for one of my gaming systems. And I know if you played it like baseball, you absolutely stomped them.
To me, if you
I
ask,
didn't
if you
understand
ask,
everything other than hit the button, hit the ball far, keep running.
if you want my opinion, there's nothing, no sport more American or that's got more lineage than baseball does in America. That's just my opinion.
I will kind of counter with American football.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that's entirely wrong either, but baseball's been around quite a bit longer, though.
It has, but the only reason the cricket rules sound crazy is we're fat, lazy Americans.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Says the guy
Oh yeah.
that's got a
I'm proud.
that's-
And proud of it. You know.
says the guy that's got a pizza.
Says the guy who had a Little Caesars delivery.
Yes, yes.
How about that? I
But
got
you're not
Little-
fat, though. We can say that you're not fat, but
I should be.
you should be, but you're not.
Yeah.
So, I don't know so much about lazy either. I'm not with you on a daily basis.
I should be. When I die, I swear to God, they're gonna autopsy me. They're gonna find the world's fattest tapeworm.
It's your metabolism.
Yeah. Oh my God, my metabolism is fucked.
There's ways to slow it down. There are.
I swear to God, I lose weight eating chocolate cake.
I dealt with that for a very long time.
And I don't know. It's not like I don't know, even chew my food. Yay, large family going to the military. Yay. I can swallow half a steak.
It depends on what you're doing during the day. If you're working your ass off all day, every day, you need to be putting a lot of stuff in your body because you're burning a lot of stuff when you're doing that. And that was my problem. I would never put enough back into my body to cover what I had expended. And if you do that over a period of time, you start looking like a goddamn concentration camp victim. You need to stop doing that shit. You know, I mean, seriously, it got to that point. It got to that point where I was not making it physically. Like, it was killing me.
I've always looked like that. I mean, in boot camp, I had to get a special waiver just to sign because of my weight. I swear to God, I gained 75 pounds in boot camp, and I was still under 200 when I came out.
Well, I'm not saying you want to be overweight, but like at the same time, for whatever height, there's a scale. Whatever height you are, there's an ideal weight for you, I guess, physically. But
I mean, as stupid as a complaint it sounds, I want to be able to not fool the guesser. You know, you walk by, I fool them every time. Not with the age, with the weight.
right. And I don't.
Yeah.
For me, it was I stopped
all the physical work I was doing. I still go out and do stuff, but like I don't work physical manual labor all the time. And so now my body gets to catch up and kind of get to its ideal state.
I swear to God, I can go step on the scale right now and I'd probably weigh 125 and I got my boots on.
I'd say that my ideal weight's between 170 and 180. Any more than that, I think I weigh too much. So.
Yeah, I think I'd be happy at 150, 160. That way I could have pants that actually freaking fit like a normal big boy. I swear to God, I am a big boy.
I don't have a scale right now, but I'm probably sitting around that right now for my weight. So that's why I'm kind of starting to kind of ration myself with the sweets and whatnot.
Well, you just get to a healthy weight and maintain it.
Yep. Because I think any more weight I got on me, it's gonna hinder my ability to move. I don't want that either.
So,
it's a crazy balance. Life is balance. It's about having balance, I guess. Again, that's another military idea, is that to have balance.
Well, I mean, believe it or not, they actually fed us good, even when I was out in the field.
Oh yeah, you'll eat good in the military. That's one thing I will say. I never went there, but from what I know,
you'll eat in the military. I don't know if eat and good belong in the same sentence.
Yeah, you're not going to go hungry. I mean, is what I'm trying to say.
I swear to God, their powdered eggs had shells in it.
Yikes.
I swear to God, and they were probably powdered shells and reconstituted just to put back in it. And if you were lucky, it wasn't overly hot and the wind wasn't blowing the dust everywhere, because then everything was crunchy.
Oh man, that would suck. Or if you like somewhere where it had sand, you get sand all over your food. Oh man, that would suck.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever got sand in your mouth before, but it's not the best feeling.
No, it's not, especially when you thought it was meatloaf you were putting in it.
Right. Like you took a bite expecting meatloaf and you got sand, and it's a very disappointing thing. Yeah.
I mean, you were still going to be disappointed even if the sand blew over. You were still expecting meatloaf.
Right.
You got that crap.
So sometimes surprises aren't good. Yeah. I don't worry about it much anymore, because I don't even do outdoor barbecues. I don't even have a grill, so I can't even bitch about that. I'm on the meatloaf, yeah.
Oh my God! But I tell you what, man, some of that food, you come up with some interesting. I was telling Judy just the other day how we made chocolate pudding.
I remember when I was a kid, we'd go to picnics.
I just left out the part of telling her we did it out of the cup we shaved in.
Yeah.
We had to. Coffee cup. That was the drinking cup.
Right. When you're out in the field, it's roughing it. You're out there roughing it.
Yeah. You shave before your coffee. I mean, I never personally had that issue because I didn't drink coffee.
Yeah, it's one thing I do. Like I do need to watch is my coffee intake. Like unless I know I have something to do, I try not to drink a whole lot of coffee. But I got into that habit where, like, if I was doing a bunch of shit, I was always drinking coffee, and that's not good either.
Well, I've warned you before, but if you forget your coffee maker, you're on your own. I have none.
Well, as long as I got a pot in the morning to wake up with or whatever, I'm trying not to make it too much of a.
They make as much as you want. I'm not going to drink the shit.
I'm getting ready to travel on the road. I can't sit there and drink 15 cups of coffee and travel because I'm going to have to stop and piss every 5. It's just not going to work, Just get enough to get me going.
Right. Not everybody can just hang some of it out the window. I forgot.
Well, I mean, I can, but I don't want to catch a fucking charge over it though either. So
You see,
just because you
more
can,
of it out.
just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something.
Well, nobody said you should, but here's a pro tip: if they start chasing you because it's hanging out the window, let more of it hang out. That way, it scares them off.
All right. I try to keep my clothes out when I'm outside. I try to do.
Yeah.
Just these days, man, you can get a bad charge on that shit. You do not want to get a charge like that over something stupid, like taking a.
No. I mean,
They will hit you with the crime for that too. It's fucked up.
I for years, not that I actively went out to get one, but you know, say me and my wife got caught doing adult things where we
Right.
shouldn't be doing it. I always said I'd frame that ticket. Now I'm afraid of catching that charge.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's with your legal wife or not.
I don't see how like these younger single male guys nowadays do it, because like I'd be so scared of catching a Me Too shit over some stupid shit that I wouldn't even want to do it. You know?
Yeah.
I'd be so scared of some Johnny Depp type shit going on that, you know, I wouldn't even risk it.
Yeah, I mean that whole thing is a slippery slope. I mean, guys shouldn't be doing that type of stuff, but then again, girls shouldn't be saying, "Hey, he did that type of stuff to me," when he legitimately didn't.
Right. There's a lot of poisoning of the
Yeah.
well that goes on. Yes, absolutely. It's not as cut and dry as what people think. Even the Trevor Bauer thing, I'm not saying I wanted him out of the league. I could just see, the handwriting was on the wall. I could see that they were going to blackball him out of the league. I could just look and tell, you know, what was going on. That doesn't mean he was guilty. It doesn't mean he did anything wrong. I don't know. I wasn't fucking there. Who am I to say?
I got no clue. I've paid so little attention to it.
Well, it's not like I follow Trevor Bauer or anything. I'm just using that as an example of, you know, somebody that, you know, it's the same with, what's his name? Deshaun Watson. It's the same thing with him, you know. Antonio Brown, I think he might have actually done some shit that wasn't right, but that's just Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown has some obvious mental.
Right.
He needs help, not prison.
I'm not saying everybody is him. He's an anomaly, is what I'm trying to say. He's the exception, but
he's a different case.
Just because, like, it's just, I guess what I'm saying, it's hard to tell. Like, somebody doesn't come with a sign on them that says I'm guilty as shit or not. You know, like you don't have that advantage to see. Yeah, Antonio Brown's just lost his fucking mind. I mean,
yeah, he needs help, not prison.
Right. And a lot of people in prison need mental help. But that's the other thing too. There's a lot of people locked up that should be in a fucking mental ward somewhere, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's his own issue. I'm not trying to say everybody in sports is like Antonio Brown by any means, but
no, there's plenty of it out there though.
It does happen. It does happen. Yes. I just recently found out. I posted it in Discord, and I don't blame you if you didn't watch it. But the guy who played Chucky in the Chucky movies has been caught grooming children and shit like that, and I had no idea. I don't follow the guy, but you know, I just thought it was like, what the fuck, you know?
I mean,
it's not cool. It's not cool, man.
By today's definition, you could say Mr. Rogers in the first few seasons of Sesame Street were grooming children too.
No, I don't mean like that. He was talking to minors in a very sexual manner, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
and they got pages of proof of it too. Like, I guess they got a whole stack of pages proving it, that what he did. It's messed up, man. It's messed up. I don't know. Like,
not that I want to understand. I just don't understand.
It's because it's taboo. That's why. If you make something taboo,
people are going to want to do it just because you made it taboo, you know. And I'm not saying it makes it right. I'm just saying how their mind justifies it. You know, I'm not saying I agree with it. You know, people are fucked up in the head is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean Robert Englund played Freddy Krueger, who is supposed to be a low-key, you know, pedophile, but that doesn't mean that's who he is. You know, just because he played that role doesn't mean that's who he is as a person. That's just a role he played, you know. But yeah, it is kind of fucked up that he did play as a children's doll, isn't it? It is kind of fucked up. I'll agree with you on that. That's not a bad point. Right. Nobody here's a scientist. Just going to get that disclaimer out of the way there. Nobody here is claiming to be a scientist, even though I do like astronomy and certain sciences. But I'm not a scientist. I'm not somebody. I'm not trying to run for office or tell anybody that they have to agree with me or.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm a science backer.
Right. No, I like science.
Nerd, but yeah.
I like science. I just, you know, I'm not a scientist.
I'm not either.
I'm not even an amateur astronomer, but I know things about it, though.
No, I'm no doctor, but I like to play one on the weekends.
Right. And that's something I learned. I did study like stuff in psychology and that in college. And I learned that if you don't know what you're doing, you can almost do more damage to the patient than they can do to themselves if you don't understand what you're doing right.
Yeah, no, that's my philosophy on auto mechanics. I know enough about auto mechanics to know you don't want me working on your car, and it's best I stay away from your tools.
Oh yeah, we always add disclaimers here about anything we say or do. Don't repeat. We're not. If I talk about somebody like I did the Kane Hodder jokes and stuff, don't go harassing his channel. I'm just having jokes. I don't really hate the guy. We're just having fun, you know. If you can't have fun on the internet, then I don't know what the fuck it's here for. That's what I'm here for. If you're here to have fun, you guys can run with us, and we're cool with it. You know, that's what it is. It's not that deep.
I believe we have to throw the term allegedly in there somewhere.
Yeah, we do. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect or I've never made any mistakes either, because, you know, obviously that's not true.
Every stream is a mistake in one way or another.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong. But they're fun mistakes. So some mistakes can be fun. Jay's taught me that some mistakes can be fun.
Some mistakes are worth making. Just learn from all of them, even if they're not your mistake.
Right. And learn from your own mistakes too at the same time. Like I've made plenty of mistakes, and I'm not too big to say that I've made mistakes. You know, a lot of people are scared that, oh, well, somebody's going to think this or that. No, just be honest and tell people, look, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I am. I'm just giving you one asshole's opinion, you know?
I think my dad told me any idiot can learn from their mistakes. A true smart man learns from the mistakes of others.
Well, yeah, all information. And like, you know, just like the political thing, you know, there's good parts about both sides of things too. But we only highlight the negative stuff. You know, we should focus more on the positive stuff and the things that we can do that we do well, you know?
Yeah.
You know, after the Civil War, like all those guys got together. Those guys were countrymen again. They did, you know, there was, you know, like the Hatfield McCoy feud and stuff like that. But for the most part, a lot of those guys, they like in Gettysburg, I can't remember what, it was in the 1900s something. It was like the 20th anniversary, whatever the fuck it was. They actually, both sides went and they recreated the Pickett's Charge, and they all hugged and embraced at the end of it. And it was kind of a cool thing, you know? It's like these guys, they had a bond with each other over it. As fucked up as that sounds, like with the Civil War, you wouldn't think, but that's exactly what it was. After the Civil War, this nation became a we. It was us. It wasn't North. It wasn't South. It was us. It was us. And that's what I look at it as. Don't get me wrong. I disagree with the GOP on a lot of things they say and do. Don't get me wrong. I disagree with the Democrats on a lot they say and do. You know, guys like me, independents like me, you know, say, Sam, you're not the biggest voter base. They don't really care about you. but it's, the numbers right now are slim, and that can turn an election one way or another.
Yeah.
So you guys remember that when you're talking politics. You got to remember that we might only be 5% of the voter base, but that might be enough to get you in office, or might be enough not to get you in office. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm not saying that I hate.
be heard.
I don't hate anybody for their politics. I dislike seeing people treat each other badly for what I feel or perceive to be silly reasons. Just like the Bud Light thing, that kind of bothered me. If what's on your can of beer is the biggest problem you have in your life, consider yourself blessed.
I personally don't care.
I mean, I get why people that drink the beer are upset, but like I seen this video of a guy. He went into some Walmart somewhere, and he was taking up. It wasn't even Bud Light; it was Busch Light he was throwing. So it was Bubba. He only got to the B part. It was too much reading for him to do. So anyway, he's taking these cases of Busch Light and he's slamming them on. They arrested him. They took him out in handcuffs and shit. Man, don't do that. Don't go make some Walmart employee. They're already working for Walmart. Their life's already bad enough. Why you got to make their life that much harder?
Yeah, I agree. It's not that poor guy's fault. I agree.
But don't go out there and destroy a bunch of shit in Walmart because you don't like something. You know what I mean? It's just like, I get why they're upset. People take their beer seriously. I get it.
Honestly, I don't even really know what this Bud Light controversy is about. I haven't paid any attention.
I haven't. It's just like the Bud Light thing. I haven't drank a Bud Light in I don't know how many years. It's just like the McDonald's thing. I was never a McDonald's fan either. I worked there. I'll be the biggest critic of McDonald's there is. But, the Cardi B thing happens and everybody says, Sam, McDonald's is bad. Well, yes, McDonald's is bad. Yes, I agree. I found this out about 10 years ago. Where's everybody been? Anyway.
Oh, hell, that was what my mother and my grandma and all my aunts and uncles were saying. Yeah, I grew up being taught McDonald's was bad. and they weren't lying, even in the 70s and the 80s when they went healthy.
Well, and that's the thing, is the reason they do that. They want you to focus on the beer cans because that has nothing to do with any kind of policy or anything that's going to make anybody's life better. And I'll even go a step further, the whole culture war thing. I kind of think it's ridiculous because, do I care what TV show that you like? If you like, I tell you what, if you guys like the new Velma cartoon they did, that's fine. I don't care. If you guys like the Ghostbusters they did in 2016, guess what? Great. I don't care. I'm not the goddamn movie police. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you guys got to watch. You guys are free.
No,
it's a free.
I agree. I agree. As you know, I'm a Marine. I fought for your right to think that way.
Hell, even me, you, and Mike, we don't agree. You collect different players. You collect Nico Horner. I collect Otani. That doesn't mean you're right and I'm wrong, or I'm right and you're wrong.
Well,
we all have our own tastes.
Yeah.
We all have our own preferences, and that's perfectly fine.
Oh yeah.
Mike collects Lindor. It's not your player, but that's Mike's player. Everybody's free to like things, If you don't want to drink Bud Light, hey, guess what? You don't have to drink Bud Light. I'm not forcing you. I'm not twisting your arm,
Yeah. I've never
Just
said
don't do
to
anything
somebody, this is what you have to drink.
As a friend, if you want my advice, I would tell you that as long as it doesn't harm anyone else or yourself, because I don't want to see my friends hurt themselves. That's not what I want to see. Then you should be free to do as what makes you.
That's the way my mama raised me.
Well, what it is both sides sit in an echo chamber, and then both sides go out there and they got to one up each other. One side will go say and do something outrageous, and then the other side will, and it just this constant game of one-upmanship that's not helping anybody in the country. It might be exciting their bases, but to anybody outside that base, they don't care. I'm not sitting here worried about what you're drinking for beer or what TV show you're watching. I'm not. These are things that I don't think about. These are not social issues. These are not social issues. What TV show you watch shouldn't be political, and it shouldn't be a social issue. My opinion. I know it's one asshole's opinion on the internet.
I mean, when I'm drinking beer, my personal opinion is what beer do I want? I don't know. The coldest one nearest to me. I don't care if it's Schlitz, Bud Light, Michelob, whatever. If I'm drinking beer, I'm drinking beer.
I mean, back in the day, if somebody would offer me a beer for free, then fine, I'd drink a beer for free. But doesn't, if I was buying beer, I would take a different brand altogether, I guess is what I would say to that.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I wouldn't worry. Like if I was to go to a bar, if I did drink and I ordered a Bud Light, I wouldn't give a shit if anybody liked it. I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I mean,
that's where we're at. That's where we're at in society. If somebody's seen you drinking a Bud Light, they're going to assume a whole lot of shit about you just because of what they know or what they think they know or what they heard or.
I just remember one of my birthdays a couple of years ago. Right around the time of lockdown, either getting ready to start or getting ready to end or just ended. I feel like it was basically an arcade with alcoholic drinks. And I went there for my birthday. And all I really wanted was something fruity with an umbrella. I didn't care what it was. That was all. I asked me what would you want? Something fruity with an umbrella. I went off on a tangent, didn't I?
Yep. That's fine. If that's what you wanted to drink, again, it's America.
God, yeah. Oh God, yeah. I didn't give a shit if people were gonna look at that grizzly old looking man with that pink little fruity drink in his hand, sipping it through a straw. I don't give no shit. It was my damn birthday. I don't care. I like the color pink. I like the flavor pink. I don't care.
The M&M's thing's another good example. People freaking out about M&M's and shit.
What
Dude,
the hell was that?
I have no idea. Something I watched part of a Sean Hannity video because I was trying to figure out what they were even talking about. And he started talking about like sexualizing, pieces of M&M's. And I'm just like, dude, I'm out, man. Whatever trip you're on, good for you, but it's not for me.
I mean, the green M&M is kind of sexy, but then again, so
but are you
dressed up as the girl rabbit?
Are you having sexual fantasies about it though? If so, maybe go get some for that. If you are, or if you don't feel you need help for that, I don't think it's very natural, but that's just me.
You gave me something to think about tonight. I mean, they do melt in your mouth.
It had something to do with because they had the M&M's characters. They had the little red guy and they had the yellow peanut guy and they had the chick one. And I don't know what they did. They changed something about it. I can't remember. And then everybody started freaking out about that. I'm like sitting here going, man, I wish people cared as much about like people like myself that are sick and trying to fight to get disability and shit. I wish you cared about it as much as this other frivolous shit. It's really first world problems. It's really some first world problems.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about
pick your battles, people. Pick your battles. That's the lesson here: is pick your battles. The chick one was green. Yeah. I don't know, man.
There's another one in there too. That's another girl that shows up every once in a while. I just don't remember what color. I think blue's a guy.
And don't get me wrong. On the other side of things, I wish that people would stop taking old IPs that we used to know growing up and trying to politicize them and making a political point from the other side too. Both sides are wrong for doing the same kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I don't like
And YouTube's just the same. YouTube is just another thing. People there's channels on here, and I'm not saying every channel that has a Patreon or something is like trying to scam people. Don't get me wrong. There's good channels out there that do those things, and I'm not saying anything against them. But the system can be abused as well. There's people on here that'll straight up lie to their audience, and just because they're scared that they might not get donations, it's incentive. So they call it motive. You know, when you do a crime, it's the first thing they ask is, what was the motive? Well, in our society, the motive is money. If I took out a suitcase full of sequentially numbered $100 bills, everybody in the room would start acting funny immediately,
Well,
just because of the money.
Yeah, but I would too. And honestly, I got to say my first thought is, which one of them are star notes? I'm sorry, I'm a collector. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I get what you're saying, but like, you know, and then being a collector's thing, it's not always about money either. Like you could just like think it's cool and, hey, I want to own that. Now that's one thing, you know, but there's limits to shit. There's limits. I'm a big believer in boundaries. Like you want to know how to prevent shit from Charles Manson like happening again? Put boundaries up, people. Boundaries.
Yeah.
Those are a healthy thing. It's a healthy thing to have boundaries. Just like Jay said about the personal space thing. Those are boundaries, you know, and Jay's boundaries might be different than my boundaries, yet we still both hold those boundaries.
Yeah.
Shit, Jay's not agreed with every decision I've made on here. And you know what? I want Jay to tell me if he disagrees with me on something. I want that. People need that. I don't want a yes man. I don't want somebody who's just going to say yes.
Hell no. Oh, hell no.
You know?
Fuck them people.
If I fuck up, let me know. If one of my cards gets to you and that I sent you guys and it's damaged in any way, let me know and I'll make it right. Because that's the kind of guy I am. You know?
I'm sure, but I mean, the envelope's mangled. Okay, that's not Sam's fault.
I know.
Right then and there, that's not Sam.
I get that, and I am accounting for that. Even if it's not my fault, I'll still make it right because I care about you guys, and I'm not going to let somebody short you because I care. You know, and not a lot of people do that on YouTube. Now, I'm not saying everybody's that way. Don't get me wrong, but you got to be careful who you start fucking with on here because it's a lot of it's about, you know, there's a lot of gatekeeping. There's a lot of elitism in a lot of communities on here. It's not just one community or the other. I'm not trying to point out the card community or anything like that, but I'm just saying in general, like as general rule of thumb, I learned this shit about YouTube before I even started a channel. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't just wake up one day and just say, hey, I'm going to start doing you. No, I actually stepped back and I looked at people and I seen people who didn't have their own lives in order and outside of YouTube. And so when they came on and tried to do YouTube, it went bad because they didn't have their shit together. And I said, okay, well, I'm not going to go on YouTube until I feel that I have everything I need. My bills are paid. You know, I got a place to stay. All this other stuff has to be met first. And then if all that other gets met, then I'll make a YouTube channel because I'm not going to go out there and, you know, if I'm going to go out there, I'm going to give it my best, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well,
and so I give you guys the best every time I do a Friday stream, or I'm giving you my best every time I shoot a video, or, you know, I'm giving it my best. I might not always have the time, but I'm giving it my best though.
I leave every Friday stream happy.
I do too.
Even if it's one like where I blow my top over stupid things.
Oh, those are the best. Those are the best ones. You guys have missed. I think Longball missed the pizza thing. That's a good one to go back and revisit if you want to see Jay blow his top. And it's not like we were laughing to be mean. We just couldn't help ourselves. It was it's like the way it happened was so funny. It just you had to be there.
It's totally inexcusable. You don't do this, man.
Oh no, dude. I'm with you. I was laughing about it.
God.
I was laughing about it, but again, I understand that if it was me and somebody, my pizza got delivered to the wrong place and they ate my pizza, I would definitely be pissed at the people, both who delivered it to the wrong place and the neighbors for knowing it was mine and eating the goddamn thing anyway. Like that's not a good way to be friends with your neighbors. There's my pro tip for the night. You want to make friends with your neighbors? Don't eat the fucking pizza that they ordered. You know, I agree with you, Jay. You were in the right.
In defense of the company, later that stream, they delivered me not one.
They did make it right,
but two pizzas.
Were they aware we were live streaming when it happened? Did they know that, or did they just do that on their own?
No.
Okay, cool.
No, I mean they made two separate trips to deliver me my replacement.
At least
So-
they made it right, and that's important.
Yeah, but by making it right by sending two different drivers to the same address twice with the correct replacement both times.
Not very efficient.
Still-
It's not.
still a
It's not a. Yeah.
Still a
It's still-
management issue.
It's still a problem that needs corrected. It just on their end, but yeah.
No, I guess I'm serious about my pizza. You
But
screw up
then
my taco-
again,
screw up my
then again,
tacos, it happens.
you got to understand that those people that work at those places, and you know this, Jay, you know this better than I do because you know your work history with pizza joints, and I know that, you know. So I get where you're coming from. You were in the right, if you ask me. You were totally in the right. I just thought it was just the way it went down was funny, and I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, I mean, having lived on both sides of them fences.
Yep.
Yeah,
I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed too. You probably would have seen me. It's not quite as funny when I flip my lip though. When you do it, it's
Well-
comical. When I do it, I give off the fucking Jeffrey Dahmer vibes, and it gets uncomfortable.
well, I would have been pissed either one of the three scenarios. I was pissed as the customer. I would have been pissed at myself if I was the guy that screwed everything up.
Oh, and he may have
And if
been.
I was
You
the
don't
boss
know.
there, I'd be
Right.
pissed at the guy that screwed everything up.
Yep. And again, that's a management thing. Most companies, when
Yeah.
they have issues, it's normally a management thing. 9 times out of 10. The Hy-Vee here, it's got a management problem so goddamn bad that they have a little thing that you can, rate, give them a rate, give them feedback, and you write it down. And they got a little box there. I won't even do that because I know that they're not listening to anything I tell them. They're not going to listen to me. So
Yeah. Just wait till they have a big event and the big wigs are there, then put it in.
right. No, just bring it up to them, write it down, bring it up, and hand it to them directly, face to face. See,
No,
and that's another
that's
thing.
that's when
That's
you put it
the
in
other thing.
because that's when they're going to want to see it and they're not going to let them throw it away.
Again, me coming on internet and saying something, that's one thing, right? You know, just like the Jason being free thing. Like people said that wasn't possible. They said, oh, the lawsuit's going to go on forever. It's never going to fucking end, you know? And then that got problems solved. And now, oh, Sam, it's impossible. We can't make another Jason movie. Oh, Sam, it's impossible. We can't beat Jason. It always is possible. Just people aren't aware to conceive that it might be possible until you try anyway. Like people are apathetic. Is that fair to say? Like I know that I've talked to the churches here about the homeless issue, and you don't sit here and tell me that these churches that are tax exempt, okay, can't do more for their communities than be apathetic about the homeless situation.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they can't give more effort than that. You know, I'm out here sick doing what I do sick, and they aren't sick. They don't have the health issues Jay does or I do. They have perfect health. What pisses me off worse than anything, Jay, is watching somebody have talent and then waste their talent. That bothers me so bad.
What bothers me about that is if I was to waste the talent I have, that's on me. If somebody
Right.
else was to waste the talent I have, that's the real thing.
Well, with me, it's more that like I've always been at a disadvantage, so I know what it's like. And to see somebody that doesn't have all those struggles or doesn't have all those problems and yet still manage to somehow screw it up. The guys I used to know, they came from, actually good families that had a nice house. They had a family to go home to after all the shit. I was living in a hole in the wall with my dad. Now, I'm not saying this to speak ill of my dad in any way, but I'm just telling you what it was. All right. And, so I grew up watching these guys that had every advantage, and they'd go out and they'd go do drugs, or they'd, go hook up with some floozy or whatever it was, and they'd piss everything down the drain. And I'm sitting here struggling, trying to just to eat. And it pissed me off. I was like, you guys don't know how good you have it. But anyway, I've went off on my own tangent. But that's why it angers me so much, because I know what it's like to have a disadvantage and have to overcome it. I don't think a lot of people would know how to deal with adversity. That's a part of life there too, dealing with adversity. Things aren't always going to go your way. Jay knows that. I know that. In my case, like that's one thing me and Jay have in common. We're streaky. We'll go on winning streaks and we'll go on losing streaks. And sometimes it's always winning and sometimes it's always losing. But we're going to be the same. In either instance, we try to respond to it in the same manner.
Yeah. Yep. Wake up the next day knowing I put up a fight.
Yep. And I'm alive and I can get up and I can fight today. To me, the Jason thing's an opportunity. Most people are like, Sam, you're risking your health and your life. I don't have my health. I've outlived a lot of people that I grew up with, a lot of family members. I've made it a lot further. If I died tomorrow, I'd be okay with it. As far as that end of it goes, I wouldn't want to die, but I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's some freak accident, then that's what it is. But cancer runs in my family. I could get cancer. I could have cancer now, and the doctors here just aren't smart enough to fucking know what to look for. Who knows? I try not to worry about it too much because those are, as our roommate Karen would say, life has its unmanageables. Some things are going to happen in life, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. It sucks, but it is what it is.
It is. It is. I mean, what I just went through with my dad and his cancer. Well, at the same time,
I do, and it sucks too.
With my dad's first battle, my wife, probably most favorite person on earth, also got cancer, and the result was different than my dad.
Yeah.
That is why I legitimately don't have any hair. I'm an old long hair. But when she found out her aunt had it, she went to the bathroom and started shaving her head. I couldn't let her do it by herself, so I went in there, finished shaving her head for her, and then handed her the clipper and bent down in front of her and told her, now my turn. I couldn't let her do
it. That's sad, dude.
Yeah. Oh, make no mistake, I love that woman too. I did.
Life is not fair. There's nothing Jay can do about life being fair. I got people mad at me because I wasn't able to defeat death. I wasn't able to save my dad. I had to sit there and watch him die. There was nothing I could do, nothing I could say. No matter how many championships you give me, no matter how many trophies you give me, no matter what I accomplish, it's never going to quite be good enough.
Yep. Not a single one of them MVP awards stopped Brett Favre's dad from dying.
But he had a hell of, that's one thing I will say for Brett, that he did respond to that. He had the game of his life after that. I don't hate Brett. I don't hate Brett Favre. I hate what he did. I hate what Brett Favre did. The Brett Favre thing's off topic. It's just my opinion on Brett. I thought he was a hell of a player. I got moral disagreements with some of the things he's done post-career.
Packers all the way.
And are you guys keeping Rodgers? Are you keeping Rodgers? What's going on with Rodgers? I haven't even checked up on it. So, is he still owner of the Jets?
Well, right now,
or is the Bears he owned?
Yeah, he is currently a Green Bay Packer.
Yep.
The general manager of the New York Jets, and the owner of the Bears. So I have no idea where he is at.
It's like, two giant questions right now. Where's Ohtani going? Where's Rodgers going? Those are the two big sports free agents, I think.
Well, I mean, I'm decidedly a Packers fan. I'm on the Packers side.
No, I get it. You're going to root for your team no matter who they got under center, but I'm sure you want somebody that you feel to be capable of the position at the same time.
Oh God, yeah. I want a 2-16 season at minimum. 2-16, both against the Bears.
Make sure it's a quarterback heavy draft when you do it, though.
Yeah. Do I think Jordan Love is the answer? No.
I like Jordan Love. I think he's athletic.
Nobody thought Brett Favre was the answer. Nobody thought Steve Young was the answer.
Well, here's the problem. Like, quarterbacks, as far as like talent wise, I'm talking purely as an athletic standpoint here. There, guys like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers don't come along that often, and to get them back to back like the Green Bay did, you're actually pretty blessed in that way, because if you guys don't get somebody on par with that, you're gonna know. You're gonna be able to tell next year. You know.
I mean, I'll be the first to admit the 49ers did it too. And they did it better. God, I hate
Right, but it doesn't happen that often. It's the same thing with the Patriots and Brady. It's like Belichick was too stubborn with Brady, and they shipped him off, and now Belichick's realizing that without a quarterback, you don't look like a genius as a coach without a good quarterback that can execute your game plan.
Yeah, I mean, I have opinions on Belichick. I'm not a fan of his. I never really was.
Right, and I'm agreeing
I
with you. I'm
don't-
saying
I don't. like him
Belichick
as
wasn't
a
a
head coach.
genius. It's just that Tom Brady made him look like one. You know.
Problem is, I'd hire him as a coach in a heartbeat, but not as the head coach. I'd put him on defense.
Right. Well, he was head coach of the Browns before the Patriots, and that didn't go like people forget. Like Belichick wasn't a superstar until Brady came along, and then all of a sudden everybody started puffing him up. You know.
People forget he was the head coach to the Jets too.
Yep, the Jets and for a day, wasn't it? Like for a day, like he agreed to the job, and then the next day he said, "I resign. This is my regular resignation, basically."
Rude, I quit on a napkin and handed it in.
Yeah, I quit on a napkin and handed it in. Yeah, that's one of my favorite stories. Yeah,
I mean, that is legendary, but
it is kind of cool.
I mean,
Like if you're gonna quit a job, that's an epic way of doing it. That's like the Bischoff sending a text to Stone Cold when he fired him out of WCW. You know, that actually happened. That was a Stone Cold story right there. Steve Austin.
Wrestling's full of fun. God,
It's
full of a bunch of prima donnas.
It is.
I mean, not that I have a problem with it, but I mean, it's a homoerotic tale anymore.
Well, what they're doing with it now, it's not even wrestling anymore. Almost, it's everything but wrestling at this point.
I don't mind the storylines. Part of me misses the territories and the jobbers.
Well, and the thing about the territories is this is what happens when a monopoly happens. Vince got a monopoly over wrestling, and look what it's turned into, you know, a victim of their own success, you know?
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I'm rooting against wrestling. That doesn't mean I hate wrestling. I want wrestling to be good again, you know?
I think it's bullshit. I do.
Sometimes I think about it, and I'm like, back in the good old days when, you know, there was Bret Hart, and you know, you had Hulk Hogan, you had Andre the Giant, you had all these guys, these larger than life figures, and then you look at it today, and they're like reality television stars now. They're not even like wrestlers anymore.
Right. I mean, I'm a straight old school guy. I am. Ain't nobody more my favorite wrestler than Bruiser Brody. Nobody.
I'll tell you the day I stopped watching wrestling regularly. I'll catch the news and rumors and stuff like that, but like as far as watching Raw or, you know, a pay-per-view or whatnot, is the day that the Undertaker stopped wrestling. That was the only reason I was staying around, was to see him and watch him get inducted in the Hall of Fame. And once that happened, I was good with it. You know, I don't know any of these other guys. This is the last guy I know, you know.
Yeah. We call it a rope opera.
It's a rope opera. It is.
Yeah.
And everything's escapism. I mean, collecting cards is a form of escapism, and that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Too much of anything's a bad thing. Too much cards is a bad thing. Too much success is a bad thing. You drink too much water, it can kill you, you know. Too much of any one thing is a bad thing, I think.
What's that?
And that was my biggest problem growing up. I didn't have that whole moderation part of my brain. I couldn't do something in small quantities. If you gave me a drug and I'd never done it before, I'd take as much of it as I could just to find out what kind of effect it would have, and if I liked that drug or not, or whatever it was that I was doing, you know.
Oh my God, I was stupid like this. I can't even look at an aspirin and thinking, okay, do I really need to take this? I understand.
As you get older, that's the more way you look at it. You know, these kids, oh, Sam, you got pain pills. It must be all right to walk around all stoned off pain pills. No, not really. It's not really.
No.
Okay. I think Judy's ready to think I guess you're being paged, Jay.
No, I was paged beforehand. Remember, just a minute ago, I was like this.
Alrighty.
So I knew she was coming. I warm
It's okay because like I've between last week's stream and this week's, I've used about half of my free time on here up anyway. And I want to be able to do this at least one more time this month. So.
Oh, that's right. You're still on the free time thing. I forgot about.
Yeah, I'm still on the free time thingy. Yep. Hi, Judy. Yeah. No, it's cool. I'm not trying to monopolize Jay's time or anything. I think Jay knows that. So.
Yeah.
We just have fun talking to you guys and hanging out with you and bullshitting with you.
That's all this is, let off the steam.
Yep. Yeah, we all have our struggles in life, and we get together once a week if possible just to kick the shit. Next month I'll be coming up to hang out with you, Jay. It's going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait. That's just going to be an epic stream.
It will be.
So I thank you for hanging out, brother. I thank Long Ball for hanging out with us over there. I thank Marcus for hanging out and everybody that showed up. Titus, Mike, guys, or everything. Keep me motivated every single day, no matter what happens. I ride and die with you guys. And I love you. Anything else to add, Jay?
No, but I'm just sitting there grinning because as soon as Judy shows up, the party ended.
No, I figured you.
I'm just
trying not to be in the way. The third or so.
No, you're not in the way. not at all.
I got this thing with being a third wheel. I don't know. It's this weird thing I have. Anyway, my personal issues aside, like I said, I've got to kind of conserve my time anyway. So it's a good enough time to end it as any, I suppose. Yes, we appreciate all you guys. Even if there's only 3 or 4 of us in here, we love every second of it. We'd do it for 5 people or 100 people. We don't care either way.
I can back Judy up. She did put some deodorant on.
Oh, there you go. Shit's getting real now. She's got deodorant on.
Yeah, she did. I will back her up on that. I will stick up for you in front of a live audience.
And a live audience. There you go.
Yes,
That's got bonus points there.
Yes, I like cookies.
But I'll try to make some more videos. It was a busy week for me this week. I'll try to get a few more videos out this week than I did next week. So anyway, until whenever I see you guys again, have fun. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. If you do, don't name it after me.
Yeah.
Peace, guys.
Yeah.
Have a
later.